much more like we are going towards the like the like stone house of the powerful green people. We want them to leave.
This language is ridiculous.
Welcome, everybody, to
Oh, we're live.
Maxed and Doubled, session 12.
12.
Oh. I thought that was last week.
Feel like I didn't update the title on Twitch.
Oh, that's all good.
So,
Pretty sure
maybe,
you did.
Maybe,
Pretty sure I watched you.
I feel like
You
I
did.
copy and pasted it from the previous session.
It says Maxed and Doubled episode 11 on the screen where I used to host. So
Yep. I didn't update it. Oh well. It's session 12, guys. It says here on my notes, which is always correct. So, I guess we're going to have to get Mr.
Really?
Fanny there in chat to update that for us.
Really up to interpretation. I mean, you did create the universe. Who says that your notes are correct?
Well,
I mean, we're in the universe. Don't we make our own truth, guys? Let's lead a peasant
Maybe the
revolution.
pre-recorded one doesn't count. Maybe it's magic.
Maybe.
I will join your peasant revolution if, and only if, you bring back Brack.
Hashtag bring back Brack. I like how you couldn't say lead the revolution, but you could say bring back Brack with no problems.
Yeah. Yeah. I concentrated on that part.
Yeah.
I will think about it. No promises.
It is quite difficult to do considering we haven't had another session since. But
Yeah. One day we'll get back to Cosmos and it will be
On
fantastic.
fire.
Yeah, and then I'll have to fight this character, and I'm going to be very upset about it.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it'll be
Anyway,
fine.
we don't have Josh again today, unfortunately. He is working night shift. Shift work is just ridiculous. We all hate it. But yeah, he'll be back next week. If all things go to plan. We are certainly hoping, at least some of us are. And Silkus will return in full then. Currently, he's just background character with a terrible mimicry of his own voice. So
To be fair, I think my mimicry is alright for Silkus.
it's not bad. That was Scottish. That was not Welsh.
I don't care.
Mine was Scottish.
Oh, okay.
Yours
I have
was
to
far
say-
closer.
I'm not trying to quite say
Glenn's
that
is-
like Josh's
Glenn's
accent
is
is spot
getting a
on
little
Welsh either,
Irish.
really.
Yeah, Glenn's is going slightly more Irish, but at least Irish is, I think,
'Cause I
a little
could picture
closer
him saying
to Welsh than
potatoes.
Scottish.
I think the real thing to take away from this is none of us really know what any of these accents sound like. Only that Irish is about 3 octaves higher than Scottish.
Exactly. Oh, aye.
Why? Yeah.
Diddly-dee potatoes.
Yeah, yes.
And the Irish tend
now-
to talk about potatoes.
Now that we've
All the time.
ostracized our entire
Welsh.
UK-based audience,
It's fine, I have red hair. I'm back to the ginger, so I think the Scottish will stay with us just for that.
That and you're
And the
actually
Irish.
maybe the Irish.
And
Yeah.
maybe the Irish. Funnily enough, it's more known for an Irish thing, but every time someone asks me, it's always Scottish that I get asked about. Why do people do that?
Because your name's Oscar. Oscar,
Yeah.
get
I guess
over
it fits
here.
better than...
No,
Milk
it would be
these
better
sheep.
if his name was Fergus. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Fergus McHaddish. Yeah. Fortunately, it's not. I don't want that name. However, there's now going to be an NPC. I've decided. Fergus McHaddish.
A really
You will-
Scottish
you will
guy
meet-
named Fergus.
You will meet a Fergus McHaddish.
I
at
really
some point.
hope
Probably level 18 or something, and you'll have completely forgotten, and
I really hope it's the most Aussie accent you can muster.
I'll do my best.
I hope he goes full Steve Irwin with it. Like, look
Including
at that
Stingray
creature.
attack.
Yes. Yeah, yes.
I can just picture it now, just like an NPC, and we're like sneaking up on something. He's like, "We're tracking an owlbear in his natural habitat."
Guys, shut up! We're trying to sneak up on a god. Yeah, but this owlbear. What's that?
I don't
Look
know.
at the
I don't
majestic
know. There
way
was an
that it
attempt.
moves.
There was an attempt. I think the
Looks
Kiwi's
like
doing
there
better at
was
Aussie
an
accent than the Aussies right now. Anyway,
I mean, I
before we get on to ostracizing our Indian audience and other areas of the world, I'm getting ahead of the curve before we start doing that.
Oh, gotcha.
Without further ado, I think it's time we get into our episode. So, previously on Maxed and Doubled,
Hey, that's this show.
it is the party. These guys
That's us.
entered Yoln.
That's the place we're at.
That's the place you were at.
Oh.
The city.
I love Glenn.
The city in the midst of the Dalen Range, right in the peaks of the mountains on its own circular plateau. Tiered city heading down into a central spot where, after a number of visitors' shops and other small errands, finding the foreman of the manufacturing of the Umbral batteries, as they've been referred to, you were referred to the central building in the city, the
Got to find the 5 men.
the Lagrum, where you were to find the Mestrejarl, i.e. the ruler, essentially, of Yoln and the Eastern Tract. Upon heading there, you spoke with the Mestrejarl. She promised in so many words, with even a written contract at the request of the party, that
Which
upon
still was
returning...
fishy wording.
Upon returning from a task that she set for you, you would be rewarded with a writ detailing, essentially, that you would be given the Umbral batteries that you needed free of charge, and the city would pay for it.
Oh, yeah. Wait.
set off.
We want the batteries to have charge in them.
True. You set off, and
Without cost.
without cost. You set off, and after what in the world? After leaving the city's bounds and moving out of sight of it, you found the first obstacle in your path along these mountaintop ridges.
Crippling fears of heights.
Exactly.
And it eaten with smelly boats.
Yes, exactly. Smelly boats, as Hannah wrote in her book by accident. The bridge itself, a long rope bridge, could only take one party member at a time, which Sariel fortunately found out when she investigated it before stepping onto it. It was a quite rickety bridge, and stepping onto it, you all realised in the moment just how far down the drop was below you. Many thousands of feet.
Don't like it.
A couple of you managed to get across without issue. A couple others, unfortunately,
Yeah, the wizards.
were stuck moving slowly. And
At least
with
you have
Zariel,
range.
Would you rather it had been the other way around?
Yeah, I actually
Just a
think it's
bit of
kind of nice that the two
personal
people who had HP to spare were the ones
yeah,
in range.
yeah. Sariel and John, as well as Sulphur, made it across before they were ambushed by an Etten, arguing about whether or not to kill these puny gnomes in front of them, or
Such
to-
a good birthday for John.
or to take a toll. You elected to fight, and with some frustration on Silkus's end, and of course Archibald's as well, unable to get across the bridge in time, but able to cast a couple spells while you were at it.
I mean,
You
it's
managed
really
to-
on Silkus to stock his own ranged spell attacks.
Oh, that's exactly right. And by the way, he sent me his range spell. He sent me his spell list. He didn't have shit. The best thing he had was Ice Knife, which I tried but didn't have the range. So that was not on me. You did manage to dispatch of the Etten, and having now all crossed the bridge, you stand on the other side, having just looted the Etten. What would you like to do?
Continue moving forward unimpeded.
No. Before we do that, I'm going to walk up to Archibald.
Yep.
Hello.
Can you presto these, please?
I presto those.
They're very smelly boots.
Sariel comes up to you and presents in front of you.
I probably presto them before they get into olfactory range.
Yeah, I'd say so. She comes up to you and presents to you these. They're enormous, like this big, kind of huge fur boots that are absolutely rank with the smell of unwashed Etten feet. And
I have
They
two
have athletes
questions.
foot everywhere.
I
Yeah.
have 2 questions, Sariel.
Okay.
Why and where? Why did you take these, and where are you going to put them?
Well, they're going in the bag of holding.
Oh god.
We're going to squish them. They're fur. They'll
Okay.
squish. And what was the other question?
Why?
Because it could be worth money. Somebody could live in these. Have you
Okay.
seen how big they are? It could be a sleeping bag.
Okay. So you want to
Oh.
try and sell them to a known real estate agent?
Yeah.
Alright. I was just curious.
I mean, or a goblin.
Or another Etten if we find him.
Oh yeah, we could give them to another Eton and like be like, hey, we'll give you some really nice new shoes
They
if you
do-
let us pass.
There do seem to be quite a lot of Ettens around here.
We could maybe like persuade the Eden to like not try to kill us for once if we give them new shoes. Don't smell
The
bad.
fact that this Etten is wearing boots suggests the presence of an Etten shoe store. Which is an
The
interesting
fact that this
thought.
Eden has really stinky shoes and he had money would tell me that it's not nearby.
Yeah. Well, either way, I want it on the record. I'm not wild about putting them in my bag of holding, but I guess in search of profit, I shall
I
make
will
an
give
exception.
him 3 copper to put them in the bag of holding.
I don't take a copper. I don't touch the boots. I just hold open the bag as wide as it'll go and freak out the poor employee cleaning it up from the last time we put something in there.
What did we put in here last?
I'm pretty sure it was a thing.
I was like a kobold body or something. Wasn't
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Kobold hides.
Is that-
Skins.
Oh yeah, there's. Oh. All right, I guess I'll
I'm
add.
also going to put the crude Morning Star and crude Battle Axe that are absolutely massive in the bag of holding. But I will roll up the goat skins and keep them on me. Because those I could manage.
Okay.
Morning Star and what was it?
Crude Morning Star and a crude Battle Axe.
I like to think that this battle axe is just swearing at you as you put it in the bag.
It's sentient, but not very smart.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be worth something.
So you've chucked
Must
all
well get
those
something
down.
for our trouble.
Yep.
Okay. So, unless there's anything else you'd like to do in the meantime, you
I want to
can.
kick the Eton's body a little bit as we walk past, but otherwise.
It squeaks.
Yeah.
You sure that wasn't a quack?
I'm sure.
Actually,
My quacks sound different. They sound like as opposed to
Slightly longer note and a lower tone,
Yep.
lower
it's
pitch.
just like Irish and Scottish.
Yeah, exactly. Quacks and squeaks.
might
Same
be worth
thing.
taking a short rest. If you guys don't mind having a bit of a break, I could, I don't know, sit down might help in case for when we meet the orcs and
I would
if
be,
we run into someone between.
I would be happy to replenish my magical reservoirs.
John, do you look quite bruised and battered?
Like, not as much as you've seen me, but a bit. Yeah.
Because I'm quite happy to give him we sit down and I'll give him a once over medically.
Yeah. Like, sure, but I do have healing surges and we have time for a short rest, so.
Well, I'm just doing it as a.
Yeah.
If you've got a scratch that might get infected, I might
Yeah.
help you
I
out.
mean, I would be okay with you helping me with that.
So yes, a short rest
Yeah.
then.
Short rest?
Short rest.
Alright. You take a short rest.
I get 2 first level spell slots back. Or should I get 1 second level spell slot?
That is a good question. Do you have any second level
I would
spell
take the
slots?
2 first.
Yeah, I'll take the 2 first. That means I can cast magic missile 4 times.
Which seems to be your favourite.
It really is because I just roll damage.
Yeah, there's nothing I can friggin' do about it.
Yeah.
Unless they're immune to force damage.
Yeah. Well, how many things are immune to force damage?
Anything I want.
Well, that's a lie.
That's not a lie.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I can
You
make
cannot
whatever I
make a
want.
butterfly immune to force damage.
I can if I want to.
I've forgotten. Do we add Constitution to healing surges?
Yes.
Okay.
Or no,
Wait.
it's your fighter level.
As Hannah, I warn you to not bite the hand that creates your world.
Do what I want.
Well, this is
His
a,
world
this is a
exists
healing
inside my
surge, healing
world,
surge.
so...
I'm not a cleric.
Fine,
I
right?
can't
No,
channel
like,
divinity
am I even
and
wrong?
save
Oh,
your
a short
ass.
rest healing surge?
Yeah.
Then yes, you add.
That's fair.
I don't fucking remember. Short rest, do you add to hit die? Like constitution to hit die?
Yeah, I think you do. I can remember you guys telling me that because I
I'm gonna
hadn't
check that,
done
but
it
just
and somebody
do
was
it.
saying it.
I'm
Yeah.
just gonna check
Cool.
it. If I'm wrong, then, or if we're all wrong, then I don't care. You don't have to reset it. I'll just check it for next time. Because I am genuinely curious. Because I remember reading something about this a while ago.
Either way, he's got more hit points than I do naturally, so...
Which is why it's best that we were the
Why
ones on the
is
far side of the bridge.
Right then.
Oh, we're only level 3, guys. For some reason I thought we were level 4.
For every single hit dice, you add your con modifier.
okay, cool.
So
Yeah, see,
I-
because when we first started, I wasn't adding my con, and you guys told me to, which is why I remembered it.
well, there you go. Now we all know.
Yeah.
And I'll forget by next session, but that's fine.
I'm pretty close to full now. Just like recovered pretty well.
So wait, you're up to 50?
Yeah.
No, only 38.
Oh, my apologies.
I mean, my max is 36. What is yours? Jesus.
43.
Mine's
Oh, that's not so
21.
Yeah. He's got more than double your max health.
I can literally
I
make
mean-
things explode, and yet I can be knocked over by a slight breeze.
Yeah.
I have more than him if you include Sulphur's HP.
The two of you together.
Yep.
My
Um,
numbers add up.
By
I
our
would
powers
like to
combined.
include my old barbarian Brax HP.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So now I have 184.
Famously also in this campaign.
Yeah.
Oh, connected to the multiverse.
Connected to the multiverse. So, you
If
take
he
a short
appears as
rest.
an NPC in this campaign, I will kill someone.
You all heal up as you choose, and then begin to head on forward. Now you go for a little bit longer. You see as you keep walking here, the sides open up a little bit. It's a bit of a wider path here. To the one side, all of the stone wall that was there previously, at least around where you were fighting the Etten, drops away, and you can see where it drops down into a large valley. You seem to be moving along out into the split of the Dalen Range once again. So
Yep.
it kind of comes in, joins for a bit, and then splits out again to go south. And you are heading down the left-hand side split.
Yep.
You're seeing down into the large valley. You can see a river running through the valley, heading further down south. And to your left, you've just got more cliffside going up. As you continue to walk, it takes you about 15 or so minutes, and you come to what looks to be the end of the path, just out of nowhere. I'd like everyone to make perception checks for me.
Awesome.
Including
I'm great at those.
Including Sulphur?
Yep, I'm
Excluding-
doing
Aha!
services.
Dirty 20.
Oh,
Am I doing that for Sulphur
did
as
you
well?
even roll?
Natural 16. No, unnatural 16.
Okay, so
Am I rolling for Dog too?
no, just for you.
Is this to do with hearing?
18.
18,
Dirty 20.
dirty 20.
16.
Silka's got a 12. Not quite. So you all actually, after a short time looking around, you do all notice that even though the path here, the level path seems to end, to your right, as you look over the edge a bit, there seems to be another path below that starts roughly near the end of the current path, but down about 30 feet. And then as you look up, you realise that the mountains above have come down, and there seems to be another flat ledge above there. And you can see that you could potentially climb up the left or down the right. It is up to you to choose. Which would you like to do?
Who designed this place? What kind of a madman's imagination are we living in, where one path ends and the other two options are 60 feet apart?
I'd be happier being on the upper path than the lower path. I don't want to have any
Will they
rocks dropped
take
on
us
me.
to the same place?
Who knows? Like,
I guess
If
there's two
one's-
ways to find out.
like If it ends quickly, I guess we'll find out.
I mean, information didn't seem to specify if it was upper or lower, just that it was this direction.
Yeah, let's pick a path, and I feel better about the top one. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm happy with
does,
not having rocks thrown on my head.
Does Sulfur know what orcs smell like, or I guess it kind of depends on the living condition anyway.
I mean, I'm sure she'd be able to smell if something stank.
Well,
But
I
we
mean,
haven't spent all that much time around orc.
yeah, fair enough. I was kind of figuring if one park smelt more like orc than Etten, you could, but whatever, sure.
I mean, we could ask her. She's got a good whip for the eating when she bit it, so.
True.
Am I doing a check?
I mean, she can have a sniff around on the path you're on, but the way it works is it's just like the path comes to an end here, and there is a cliff to your side and a cliff going down to the other side. So
Well,
the
I
actual
know, but I
paths
wanted
themselves.
to sniff like the edges of those.
She can do that if you like.
Because obviously, if it was an orc, they'd have to climb it.
Roll a survival check
Down
for
from
me for Sulfur.
Okay. Oh, that's not great. Survival? 7.
7. She doesn't pick up on any scents that she recognizes. It's not something that she can distinguish between, unfortunately.
So, to her, they all just smell.
Alright. So, up, any objections? Any thoughts that might make it different?
My only objections with any direction we take is how do we get sulfur to it?
We got a rope, right?
So you're suggesting we either lower her down by a rope or lift her up by one?
Yeah, if she's willing to, like, tie a loop or something.
We really need to make Sulfur a harness that she wears all the time. That
Well, we
way
should
can
maybe
just, like,
get her one,
clip
yeah.
her in and then
Well, when we get back to Yolm.
it's like one of those things that they use for airlifting cows. Just
Yes.
I think she wouldn't enjoy wearing it at all times, but we could certainly get one for her that we could put on for times like
it
this.
only has to be until I gain another level, then I can fly.
Oh god, that's next level.
I hope.
Jeez, you're
It's
not leveling
not.
up this session.
And now
Better be.
we
You
can
could, you
blame
could
Glenn
learn
in
levitate.
session's time when we're still level 3 because Oscar doesn't want him to fly.
Yeah, exactly right.
Guys, tonight's gonna be a TPK.
I'm just gonna add a few extra enemies to the battle I have planned.
Hashtag blame Glenn.
Yeah, exactly.
Hashtag fair enough.
So, which path are you all choosing to take?
Let's-
Well, the
Go
boys
to
seem more
top
interested
path.
in not having rocks hit you in the head, right? So up.
yeah.
What a weird thing to be interested in. Yeah, we'll go up.
Okay. Who's going first?
Silkus, you're usually fairly vocal about this. What path do you think we should take?
Well, I mean, I think the more athletic of us is probably the one I'm going to trust.
Fair enough.
These two. If you think the top, I'll go the top. I'll go second.
He's weirdly amicable.
Could I
Yeah,
borrow,
are you,
could I
fe-
borrow
are you
your rope
feeling
for a
okay?
second?
You don't
I'm
seem
feeling
yourself.
fine. I'm feeling fine.
Could I borrow your rope for a second?
Yeah. And he takes it off his
I
pack
like-
and hands it
I
to
knew
you.
I forgot to buy
And
you
I'll-
something.
I'll put it in my fancy new pack.
Yes. Okay, so who's going
I mean,
first?
I have rope too.
I'll,
but
I'll go first.
You go first.
Sorry,
I'll give him a boost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you do a job to spot me in case I drop off? I don't want to roll off the other cliff.
Yeah.
Silkus kind of steps back and says, "I got this."
All right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Oh, he's got feather falling. That's very good.
He's got spider
I
claws,
just pictured him like
He does, I think.
I pictured like John falling backwards into Silkus and him being like, I can catch him, and then both. Which is why I laugh.
And Archibald's just
Like
Yep.
what, halfway through the hand motions, and then
Okay, so John, if you could please make an athletics check for me, please, with advantage because Sariel is helping you.
aha.
I'm a go like this.
Yes.
Nice.
20.
give you like a-
dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Very nice. So, Sario, you kind of get down on a knee and get ready, and as John kind of takes a couple steps, you launch him up as hard as you can, and you kind of get a little momentum, and then you start grabbing onto the rocks, and you get your feet nice and tight in some footholds that you're finding. You're pulling yourself up, and you make it up in no time flat. You are 30 feet above the rest of the party now.
And this is where he tells us that there is an enemy right behind you.
There is not. So you glance around,
good.
John. You can see, still down into the valley, on your left, there is a wider section of path, but it does gradually go up into mountainous terrain, and you can see the path move off ahead of you as well, further than the one below you. I'm just going to really quickly check something, because Josh did send his prepared spells, and I'm curious to know.
While you're checking that, I'll lower the rope down so someone can tie a knot in it.
Okay.
I tie a knot in it and send it back up.
I mean, I don't lift it back up. I assume someone wants to do
I'm
it.
actually going to, if this is for the sulfur, I'll actually position it so it's not going to hurt her and do like a couple of loops around and make it come.
Okay. Silkus kind of he kind of realizes that Sulfur should be going up and says, "Okay, Sulfur, you go first. I'll go after Sulfur." And so you're going to pull Sulfur up now. Make a strength check for me.
Okay. So without
her tails
proficiency,
between
that
her
is
legs. 'Cause
13.
she's
13. Okay. You don't have too much issue. You just kind of brace yourself against the ground and start hauling Sulfur up once she's tied in. And you do get her to the top, no issue.
Okay.
You throw the rope back down, and Silkus grabs onto it. Hold
Is there like
a second?
Is there like a rock around here that's like quite big, so I could just loop the
oh, like a belay?
Yeah, not so much so that I could hold them up, but more so that like I could pull against it and it would like catch if they fell.
Make an investigation check.
Okay,
You're rolling so well today.
I
What has
am
happened
rolling
to you?
very well.
Who are you, and what have you done with Michael?
This is going to be really bad if
so
we
17.
actually...
17. You do find a pretty solid looking kind of jagged piece of broken rock that you are able to tie off the rope to. So you do that, and you're grabbing the rope as just kind of insurance as well.
I think the idea was that I'd loop it around it. So that,
Right,
I'd
okay,
belay like that.
then that's fine, you do that. Silkus is not actually going to go next. He's going to encourage one of you two to go next. Instead.
I'll go next because of what.
Have scissors rock.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Again.
Okay. I'll do it sideways. 1, 2, 3.
One more time.
I could do this all
One
night.
more time.
One more time.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, fuck it. We'll just roll for it, Glenn.
Odds or evens?
Yeah.
It's whoever rolls higher, dingus.
That's a different game, but okay. What are we rolling? That's D20?
20. D20.
Alright,
Whoever rolls highest gets what they want.
If we roll the same number, I'm gonna like.
If you roll the
lose
same
my
number on the
shit.
D3.
What did you roll?
You roll yours first, and then we'll talk
I
about
haven't
it.
rolled mine first because I want to see if I can match it.
Just roll. I'm not saying what it is.
16.
Who wins? He goes first. I rolled a 5.
Okay, so yeah, Archibald, you go first.
Damn it,
It's like
Matthew
poking
Mercer.
my head over the ledge. Hey Archibald, you tying in or what?
Yep.
Okay, so you grab on the
It
rope. you
just
tie
sounds
it up.
real smug too.
Both of you make athletics checks with advantage. Both of you make athletics checks flat.
Hey.
15.
Not too bad.
Athletics. 14.
Okay. So you also make it up, no problem.
Yep.
With
Well, that was
mainly-
easy.
You kind of start to climb, and you're going a little bit slowly, but you feel John pulling on you, and you do make it up to the at the end.
Don't rush me.
Securely fastened in. You throw the rope back down. Sariel, you're going next. Both of you make athletics check for me. And Archibald, if you'd like to help, John, you can get advantage.
I would.
Okay,
I would
cool.
like to help.
Thanks.
Oh no.
14.
14.
I said 14 too.
14 as well.
Yeah.
So, the two of you, Sariel, you do start to climb. You're a little bit more adept in this kind of environment than the two wizards are. And with John's help, you also manage to get up as well. Finally, Silkus, seeing that Archibald hasn't had too much of a problem and he's feeling a little bit more confident, he is going to tie himself in and try and make the climb. So you roll with advantage because these two will be helping you. And Silkus
I think I learned from my helping experience.
also roll athletics. That's not bad.
17.
-1 to be a 15, so it would have been the same if it was a +1. And with that, all 5 of you are at the top without an issue. So, now that you're on the top path,
I think I'm gonna I like the image of untying the rope from the rock and then just leaving it there, so it's now just trailing after Silkus.
he doesn't notice. I rolled a natural 3 on his perception.
Can sulfur...
Okay.
Sulfur.
So, what?
Sulfur.
She's up already.
Okay, good.
Yeah, she went up second.
Can sulfur now be taking Silkus for a walk?
What I was gonna say is that, like, so she sees the rope as he starts walking away, and she's like, "Oh, tug of war!" and like yanks on him.
Make a contested strength check. Silkus will roll with disadvantage because he doesn't know what's happening.
Okay.
Oh no.
It's a -1 too.
Drink. She gets 8.
He got 4. So Sulfur does yank Silkus onto his ass before he realizes that the harness is still attached. He undoes that, ties it back around his backpack, and you all set off once more. As you move along here, this top path, you do come across one point where you start to hear some sounds up ahead. And looking down over the sides, for those of you who are brave enough to do so, you catch some movement. And you see that it looks like the path that you had been on, the original path that stopped, potentially picked up again further down, just it was something obstructing the path that forced you to climb. And looking down, you can see it there, and then you can see a large open flat area about that level.
Yeah.
Where in between this flat area, that lower path seems to go. It seems like a big long ravine. And as you study this, moving along across the top path, you look down there and you see probably about 20 or so figures. They look like orcs from this distance. There are 3 different teams of them surrounding what look to be huge boulders. And they're just lounging around at the moment. And then a number of others lining this ravine. So this is what you're looking down on, essentially.
Yeah.
The 3 boulders staggered along this ravine, and then a number of others, individuals standing on either side, who seem to just be kind of resting at the moment. But as you move along there, you realise that you probably were facing the orcs' defences if you'd gone the bottom path.
Yeah.
With that...
My interest in having rocks not dropped on me has paid off.
Yes, it has. It has. Is there anything you'd like to do with this, or just continue on?
Just continue.
I mean, yeah.
I have something I'd like to do, but in the interest of the party's safety, I won't.
That's always a good thing to hear. Okay.
I just wanted to throw rocks at them. But I'm not going to. Because Archibald is more restrained than Glenn is.
Alright. So, continuing on past these orcish defences, the noises up ahead start to get a little bit louder. And you round a corner and you see ahead of you what looks to be the beginnings is a large open area, all stone, with some patches of what look to be some very low brush. And amongst this area, there are a number of small foundational areas that look like stone foundations, just in the very beginnings of the construction phases. Milling around in this area, you see another 20 or so orcs. It's a good mix of what
Yeah.
look to be armored fighters wielding weapons and other orcish women and orcish children all moving around in this large clearing that you see ahead of you. Saria, you notice pretty quickly, before the others do, you notice off in the opposite side of the clearing that you're looking at, there is a number of stacked cages, and the largest one on the bottom seems to be containing something very large, green and hideous looking. It's like a bright green color, and it looks horrendous from what you can tell. You don't know what it is, but it looks like it's just you don't want to get within 30 feet of that thing.
I'm gonna point it out.
But this is ahead of you now. As you kind of walk into the clearing, you see one of the orcs in armor turns and sees you all, and he strolls up to you and kind of greets you. Hail! What are you doing here?
Hey, so basically, we've heard that there have been some raids going on, and we just kind of wanted to talk about that because, well, Yolm doesn't like people raiding their caravans, and like you're probably reasonable people. I'm sure you can find a way to make a living here, which is like peaceable and doesn't cause a miniature war here. Well, not war, but
These mountains are hard pickings. Not sure we could find anything else. Those caravans are really our only source.
There's a lot of eating.
try moving into Yolm. Like,
Try taking on the Etten population when you've got women and children to take care of.
I mean,
Why don't you start protecting the
am I a
caravans?
duck?
We could, but
I'm gonna like ask Archibald for the boots and be like, "Yo, we killed an Eden. What am I? I'm a woman."
women are just as capable as men.
So why can't you take on Edens?
Because they have to take care of the children.
Why don't you take care of the children?
We sometimes do.
So choose some of the slightly older children to look after the children and take on the Eden.
You want to leave our children here alone together when we're taking on a population of giants? No, thank you. That's a good idea, but most people don't take kindly to the sight of an orc.
Well, if you keep raiding them, of course they don't.
It's part of the problem. But unfortunately, it's really our only option at this stage. Look, we'd like to help you out, but we're here because our old settlement is unlivable. We can't go back there. We would. It was a better place.
What's been made unlivable about it?
Wyverns.
Oh, that'll do it.
One in particular.
Just one.
Just one.
Just one wyvern.
Yeah, they swoop in and pick up anything they want. And then they fly off.
How big's the wyvern?
So
Pretty big.
Okay.
As big as a few men.
Alright.
Certainly big enough to ride one if you could, but
My knowledge
Question.
of... Yep.
one,
one wyvern. Yes.
one.
One.
No wonder you don't want to take on Edens. Continue.
What are you saying?
I'm just curious, because I know the size and shape of a wyvern, but I can't remember much about them. Do they breathe fire?
No, they have a very deadly poisonous sting.
Are they green?
No, usually feathered and kind of dark beigey.
How far away is your place? Your old settlement where you didn't raid Yolm's caravans?
Couple leagues south, say maybe a day's worth of travel if you're a small party like yourselves.
Why don't you come with us and we'll go kick your wyvern's ass?
I'm sorry, I'm not trusting strangers to accompany my men.
Okay.
I wasn't talking your men, I was talking you.
Or me.
What
I
if,
run this place.
What if we make an agreement and you guys can stop me if you don't agree with this? But how's about we will deal with your wyvern, but while we're gone, you don't attack any caravans, you don't raid anyone,
You're burglar.
And then when we bring back the wyvern's head, present it to you, you go back and you live where you were living, and maybe you'll be able to develop trade with Yoln and surrounding areas in civility.
You say it's a day away? Give us 3 days. Even if we die, that's only 3 days of caravans that you'll have missed.
That's acceptable. I agree. You bring me back proof, and we will move back to our old settlement.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm okay with this plan.
That? Is that really... Not
I
gonna say that
have-
out loud. What's up?
I would prefer we take one of his party with us so that they can tell the truth of the matter when they return.
If
Otherwise,
he's not willing
if
to
they
have
return to their homes and find them pillaged, they'll assume we did it.
You got someone
Oh,
who
they'll
just...
be pillaged. They'll be destroyed. We don't expect anything to be left of them besides maybe the walls. But as long as you bring back that wyvern head, that's good enough for us. I'm not sending any of my people with you. Sorry, I can't trust strangers, but that's the way it is. The head is proof enough. It's the only wyvern this far north anyway. They don't generally come all this way. Stick to the south regions.
Alright.
Oh, thanks.
I will
Thanks
try
for-
and not burn it until it's unrecognizable then.
As long as it's recognizable, that's all we'll need.
Okay. What do you think?
Yeah, alright.
So, got your word?
You have my word.
Alright.
And
I will ask someone who's stronger than me to shake his hand.
yeah,
I vote John.
yeah, I'll shake it then. Thanks for talking to us. We were a little worried after seeing the defenses along the other path.
Okay. Thank you for your help. We orcish folk aren't used to your kinds being amicable.
Oh, we appreciate your amicability as well.
Yeah,
What was
I'll-
your name? Sorry.
My name? Oh god. My
What's
name?
his
Is that orcish? Oh god.
Oh god. My name is Gruul.
Gruul.
How do I spell that?
Gruul.
Oh. Changing up the
Well-
consonant vowels on me.
Do you have anything like a phrase or anything that we could use?
Well,
We could say to your people if we see,
well-
say, a hunting party that want to get rid of us.
Fair enough. Invoke Dol Ara and you should be okay.
Dolara?
yeah.
I'm literally writing that down phonetically.
it's
I
pretty,
feel like it's too insulting to ask him how to spell that.
it's pretty close. It's pretty close to phonetic, so.
It's just got a couple of apostrophes where you wouldn't expect it.
I appreciate that.
So I guess
help us a
we'll
lot.
head off back where we came, and actually, I assume we get directions.
Oh, you can head
Yeah.
through this way, and he points, and you
Yeah.
can see at the other end, there seems to be another way out.
Straight path mostly.
Essentially, I'm sure you'll find your way. It's not too far, and you'll know the settlement when you see it.
Okay.
I'm
Thanks
sure
for
you'll
your
be
help.
guided by the myths that you say the wyvern will have made.
Probably it's screaming too, but yes.
So head off. I'll say the thing which there's a solid chance that that it would be different here, seeing as we're not on Thakratha, but I'll do the customary in Orcish, Thakrathan, customary farewell.
Okay. Yeah. So you basically, essentially, wish the light of Dol Ara.
Yeah.
Follow
Okay.
him, and he returns the same thing back in Orcish.
Yeah.
And you see a kind of a acknowledging light in his eyes as
Yeah.
he says that. So you all head up.
Yeah.
Once more.
Yep.
Okay. So you do so. You move through the settlement, and moving through, there are a number of very curious Orcish children running around, and they see you, and they kind of stop what they're doing, and they look up at you kind of wide-eyed as you move
Do
through.
any of them look like they want to eat sulfur?
No, actually. They all look to be respectful of your party.
Do any of them look like they want a pet sulfur?
Many of them.
So, are there any of them that are brave enough to be approaching?
A couple
like
of them
they
get a
want
little
to-
close. But they're quite timid. And-
Very softly in Elvish, I'll tell Salford to sort of sit and wag her tail.
Okay. A couple of them braver ones come up when you ask her to do that, and they give her a quick touch, and then they giggle and kind of pull back and aren't quite brave enough to go again.
So
but-
I'll like crouch right next to her and like ruffle her ears and like let her lick me so they can see that she's like quite.
With that, they get a bit more encouragement, and they come up and they start giving her some rubs on the neck, and they seem to be pretty happy at the opportunity.
John,
Yeah?
you speak Elvish? You speak Orcish, sorry?
Yeah, close enough.
Tell them her name is Sulfur.
Yeah, I'll turn and go. So, she's a good girl. Her name's Sulfur.
They don't talk back.
I don't really translate the sulfur bit. I leave it.
Yeah,
as is.
yeah, exactly. They don't return any
Yeah.
words. They're pretty shy, but that seems to reassure them, and they continue to pat her for a bit before you move off again. Make a history check for me, John.
Might as well show this chief
Boy,
that
I'm
would be
rolling
nice.
well tonight.
You are certainly
you roll?
rolling well tonight. Natural 20.
Nice.
With that, so as you move through and you kind of look around and you see all the orcs, you're very familiar with Thrakrath, and particularly Grodalia, which is largely a population of orcs and half orcs. The orcs tend to have a love for animals more than a lot of the other races.
Yeah.
A large part of this is they are an agricultural titan on Thrakratha. It's basically the agricultural and the the live animal and animal products trade of Genevoa. It comes out of Thrakratha and Grodalia.
Yeah.
And orcs have kind of a very close connection with animals in a lot of ways, and they love them and they love working with them. And so you see this, and it's unsurprising to you that they're so eager to kind of get up close to Sulfur and give her pats. And Sariel, as you're moving forward, you noticed first when you entered the clearing the being in the cage on the other side, and as you kind of move past it, you can see it looks kind of feral. Like, it's not actively trying to get out of the cage, but it's moving around a lot and it's kind of grunting. And it looks like it was once an orc, maybe, but it's got huge bloated areas on its body, and it's like a bright sickly green, and it looks terribly diseased. Not in the same way that pestilence has seemed to afflict things with, but it does look somehow terribly sick and yet still alive.
Can I see the lock on the thing?
Yeah, you can.
Yep. And can I just see how strong is it?
Make a
I'm gonna be
perception check.
so pissed at you, Archibald, if
I'm
you do
not-
this.
I'm not gonna do anything. I just mainly want to make sure that it doesn't get out.
Okay.
Unless I want it to. Fuck you. 13.
13? I mean, it looks like a pretty heavy duty padlock.
Alright,
The
that's good.
cage itself is decently strong. It's like two timber tops and then metal bars between them all around.
Alright.
But it seems relatively secure in there. And it's not actively
I've
trying
never
to get out. It's not actively trying to break the lock or
I've
anything.
never seen anything like that before.
Are you talking to them, or
I'm asking you.
have you ever seen?
Yeah.
Roll a nature check.
Roll a natural 20 just to be like John.
Nature.
Like, seen someone who got bitten by something with rabies once?
What's a dirty 20?
Yeah,
Dirty
that's
20.
close.
You've heard of some orcish culture, especially especially the orcs separated from their home regions, the more tribal types that inhabit Dalandar mostly. And this is probably what they call a nurtured one, which is they believe in their folklore that their god Yertris has essentially touched this particular orc, and it's become something else. They are terribly diseased and tend to be quite feral, and upon dying have the tendency to explode into poisonous clouds of gas.
Oh, it's a Left 4 Dead boomer.
Kind of.
Gross. I hate those things. I instinctively I'm just gonna be like prestoing myself.
You're nowhere near it at the moment.
Yeah, I know, but just being this close to it, I don't, because I don't know any of that.
I mean, it looks bad enough just from observing it. So, all right.
When we get out of the actual camp,
After a 15-minute petting session, yeah.
I'll relay what I know about said creature, just so that everyone in the party is aware of the danger of this thing dies.
Right.
Yep.
Okay.
Thanks for letting us know.
Good to know. Great.
Yep.
Oh,
We
well.
if we end up in a fight with these guys, we want to avoid hitting that cage.
Thing sounds like a party.
I think we just eliminate it while it's still in the cage if we end up in a fight with it. But
I mean, yeah, but
we've got 3 days to worry about
distance
that.
from it. Don't know about you, but I don't really want to breathe in poisonous gases.
Well, how far can it spew these poisonous gases or explode into poisonous gases?
I don't know. I only know about them in passing.
Well, I hope we never have to find out.
Yes.
But it is good knowledge to have.
Certainly
It
is.
is. Alright.
So, as you leave the camp, you notice it is getting a little late. The sun is starting to get quite low.
Yeah.
Sun's getting real low.
Sun's getting real low. You still have light at this point, especially being on top of the mountain range. So you can push on for a little bit longer if you like.
I want to move far enough away that anyone on guard for that camp doesn't think we're a threat.
Okay. So you do get out of sight of the campsite, of the settlement, of the new settlement. You kind of round a bend and the rocks of the walls around you obscure it. As you do, Sariel, you hear kind of a shifting of rock and rocks clattering, and then out of nowhere, out in front of you, jumps a humanoid being.
How many heads does it have?
One.
I
Who walks up to you, and you can see, you recognize what the outfit that they're wearing. Everyone roll a history check for me.
Oh, yeah. Natural 20. Oh, okay, sorry. 23.
23. Nice.
9.
2.
What did Silkus get?
And Silkus, natural 20. So
Okay, so Silkus knows what it is.
Silkus immediately, upon seeing this person, immediately recognizes the uniform. And Archibald, you do as well.
Oh, yeah.
You saw a number of these outfits. It's kind of like a light fur across and with like a mantle, relatively light armor, a lot of leather involved, and some bits of chain as well, and the crest of Yon. You recognize this as one of the essentially Mestrejarl's staff,
Right.
who approaches you and kind of addresses the whole party, saying, "We are impressed with your judgment. Here is a map of the route we believe will take you to the old settlement." And he hands, who's in front at this point, Sariel?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Hands Sariel
Yeah.
the
Good old dark vision.
a kind of rolled up piece of paper, piece of parchment. Once you have provided Gruul with your proof, your task is complete. As a token of our support in your endeavour, take this. It will immunize the wearer against poisonous effects and may be useful to you on this journey. And Sariel hands you a small red-coloured amulet that hangs from a gold chain, a very light gold chain. It looks like a necklace of some sort.
I give it to John.
Thanks.
Upon saying that, they back away once more. They climb up a little bit into the cliff, and then you see a brief flash of umbral energy as they seem to teleport away.
I swear the next person to jump out at me is getting a magic missile straight to the face. That was really unsettling.
So, the party, you have now received A map of the route, and B, a periapt of proof against poison.
Cool.
That's not poison. Yes, it is. No,
Right,
I have
so-
proof.
John, put that in your inventory because I'll
Yeah.
give that to you because you're
Yeah, I'm gonna put that
up in
on.
the front.
So,
If anyone's going to get poisoned and
That's
stuff,
not-
it's like the big
Yeah.
person that's right up front.
correct. Why is my DMG so far down in my pile? So, periapt of proof against poison for your information. As soon as I can find it.
Is it in the PHP or was it in?
It's the DMG. Periapt of proof against poison. While you wear it, poisons have no effect on you, and you are immune to the poisoned condition and have immunity to poison damage.
Cool. There's mine.
Does not require attunement.
Awesome.
So that is that for you. Apologies for me wiping my nose constantly. It must not be pleasant to people.
Better than the
Better
alternative.
than you sniffing loudly into a microphone.
Yeah, I'd rather not be. So with that, you setting camp here.
No, I want to move kind of far away from where the guy jumped out at me and gave me fright because I didn't recognize what he was wearing.
Okay.
I am taking alert the first chance I get.
All right. So
I refuse to be surprised.
I'll give you an item card for that
Yeah.
later, but you can write that down for now if you like. You move forward. How long are you going to keep going until you can't see anymore? Until the
No,
sun has
like-
set?
I'm thinking just like we move forward another sort of
Like-
20 minutes and then
Okay. Okay.
Somewhere defensible, maybe only
yeah.
like it's somewhere with a wall or a big rock
Okay.
that's covering us.
Overhang or
So
something.
you move
Yep.
forward for the next 20 minutes, half an hour or so, until you find a point where the path seems to cut between or cut around the side of a mountain. So where on your left it's once again this kind of sheer face going all the way up, and on your right it's that drop, and it's a relatively wide path. So you could probably set camp here without too much of an issue, and you've only got two directions that most things could come at you from.
Okay.
So you set camp. Are you lighting a fire tonight, or
Is it cold?
you're up in the mountains? It's pretty chilly.
What do you guys think? Do you want to risk a fire?
Yeah, like, I think a fire would be nice to have, honestly.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. So you set a fire. Is there anything anyone wants to do tonight before the watches are taken and people are sleeping? Yep.
I'd like
I
to
wanna
take
stream
last
my bow.
watch.
Go for it. Roll an
I want
athletics
to try
check.
and use my damn bow.
Athletics check with advantage.
What? Yeah, I fail.
What did you roll?
2 net ones.
Ooh! That hurts.
So now don't you
Two
and
nat
I-
ones
I
with advantage.
Right now, I'm very mad at Matt Mercer and Marisha Ray.
Yeah, that's fair.
This,
Neither
this
of them
couple
are
just
rangers.
fucked me.
I'm just like,
Like-
kind of
I'd take
imagine.
that.
I'm like kind of imagining
I would
like the
take that too,
string like
actually.
slipped off of the thing and it just like whipped you in the foot or something.
No, I'd like to think that I now have like a slight cut in one of my eyebrows from
Oh.
the string like going.
Oh.
You do a bit. You do a bit.
It's
Yeah.
like the
I take 1 point of damage.
It's like the
Yeah,
G
that's
string
right.
from a bass guitar when that snaps while you're playing it
yeah, no.
straight across your hand.
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, see, that's what I was picturing.
Yeah.
Always
Like
painful.
that sort of pressure, and then you sort of let it go. And it's like elastic, and it just goes past my eye, and I just got like this scratch.
Yeah. So you do
Oh, that's a shame to see.
not unfortunately manage to string the bow. Is anyone else doing anything tonight?
I'm gonna.
Can someone clean my eye?
Silkus will happily do it. He has
Yeah.
proficiency in medicine, I believe.
I'm going to focus on wyverns and orcs tonight in my nightly meditation
Okay.
before I go to sleep.
Roll a history check. for
Hells
me.
yes. Use my red history dice. Natural 5. Don't know shit.
That's a 11.
History check.
It's all right. You'll wake up tomorrow morning and you'll know heaps.
You don't. You meditate on it, and you don't get any extra information coming in that you hadn't previously known. But you kind of you think about what you've seen, and you go back over everything that you've heard about, and you just kind of reiterate that to yourself. You do kind of recall seeing one or two of the women, the orcish women, wearing armor, which, despite what Gruul was saying, seems to be the norm. They're just kind of walking around in armor. But besides that, you don't really recall anything else of note.
Jesus.
Sorry, I didn't mute that time. I forgot.
That's fine.
I was
And
apologising to you.
well, it scared the hell out of me, so you should apologise to me.
I was apologising to Stream. Rip headphone users.
Yeah, well, stream can get over it. I won't. Alright, yeah, that's all I want to do till my watch, which I'm taking last.
Okay.
Paper, scissors, and
So,
I can do it all night.
so what is our watch order?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay.
We'll go third.
You made that really hard for Silkus. Okay, so
Monster.
Silkus
Yeah.
will remain awake for your watch,
Okay.
and then we'll wake up again for your watch. So you two will get advantage on perception.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, no. He'll roll with both of you.
Mm-hmm.
So, as you finish your evening routine and get ready to head to bed for the night, with John, you remaining awake and Silkus kind of sitting as company for you, we are going to take a break right here. We'll be back in about 10 or so minutes. In the meantime, go to the toilet, get something to eat, whatever you want to do. We'll see you on the other side. And I never know how to sign off on a break because I am awkward and
God,
don't
you're
know what
awkward.
I'm doing.
You're so awkward. for me.
That is all I wanted to hear. We're already unmuted.
Huh,
Welcome
6.
back. Welcome back, everybody.
I know
to
6.
Mixed and doubled.
You know 6 IRL, or you know 6 is your character.
Yes. Yes.
Why does Glenn always make me want to slap him?
Because I just have that type of personality.
He's got a
We,
slap in
we
his
need
face.
like a Hannah wants to slap people jar, and when I'm playing with you guys at the table, we just need to have a jar. And every time I want to hit Josh or Glenn, I just put $1 in the jar.
Oh,
You would say that so quick.
So you'll like get here
We would
and
get
you'll
a new
like
camera so fast.
so you'll get here and you'll like give out like 6 hugs and then 400 slaps.
Line him
Well,
up
I mean-
and slap him down.
I still owe Oscar a pretty hearty slap. So that's 2 years in the
Yeah,
making.
You never had the stones to do it.
I've never. I'm not tall enough. Can never
like-
put any force behind
Just
it.
like never had the knees to do it.
So, having just moved your way through a challenging climb and then encountering the orcish settlement you set out to encounter, you had a discussion with the person who seemed to be the leader of
Group.
the orcs of the group, Gruul.
I am Groove.
And found out that the reason they were here is because their previous settlement had been
They have a
essentially
wyvern
taken over. They were being harassed by a wyvern that was swooping in, taking their animals, their children, essentially
name's
causing
Nelfin.
havoc for them and being a general nuisance that they couldn't deal with. You agreed, in the wake of hearing this, you agreed to take care of this wyvern problem for them,
Come
and
here.
Gruul in return promised that the settlement would return to the old location once the wyvern had been dealt with.
For absolutely no reason at all.
Mm-hmm.
Can Gruul's voice now and forever be the brother of Gru from Despicable Me's voice? I am Gruul. I can't do it.
I don't know if I could either.
I need you to practice that for next session.
I think that's possibly on the table for something I'm gonna have to do. But you have set camp after encountering one of the Mestrejarl's scouts,
Weird guy.
who presented you with a periapt
It
of
freaked me out.
periapt of proof against poison, giving the wearer immunity to the poison condition and to all poison damage, stating that it might be useful for the trip ahead.
Got a Pokemon antidote.
You do. You set camp and are now about to take watch. So, John and Silkus, if you could both roll perception for me on your watch. What am I doing? I'm rolling better with Silkus than I ever can.
Patching my holes.
Yeah,
And it's a 6, by the way.
it's a 6. 21 with a natural 20 for Silkus.
At least you're rolling them now, and you're not rolling the 20s when you have this amazing map in front of us.
Hey, you don't know what I'm doing with that.
I see a piece of paper with squiggles and circles.
It's fine. We've already passed the point of having that. So,
There's something under it.
Also, while I am having my watch, I'm gonna light a twig and sing.
And at the end, I'm gonna say just really, really quietly, "Happy birthday to you." At the end.
Happy birthday, dear John.
Archibald doesn't understand this custom and is continuing.
If I start singing, we'll just hear really quietly, like a little, like tiny, quiet, to not draw attention, howl.
God,
And
what
the
is
same
it with
kind of-
wolves and howling? It's so weird.
How did she
how they
sing?
It's a line from Zootopia.
Yes, it is.
Oh yeah, they like howl and then someone else howl. Yeah, okay, I'm with you.
Throughout the course of your watch, you are engrossed with your birthday celebrations,
Oh.
and Silkus keeps most of the watch while he kind of.
Silkus diligently does not care about my birthday.
For once, he's actually avoiding writing in his book, and he is taking watch.
At 12:01, right after midnight, he hands you a slip of paper. It's a check for 500 gold, and it's like, sorry, I missed your birthday.
A check? Those haven't been invented yet.
No, it's like a little IOU that he's made himself.
Canon.
The first check.
Sorry,
Cannon.
Josh.
Beat me to it.
There goes all of Josh's money.
Oh, that's how much he's got, is it? Oh, wow.
Yeah, no, he was like, "Don't you touch my wallet" last week.
Silkus, over his watch, he does notice in the distance he sees a shape, and he points it out to you at one point. He sees a shape flying around in the air, way off in the distance, just a silhouette of probably the wyvern, you can only guess.
Yeah.
And he hears some noises happening, but for the most part, you are unbothered throughout the watch.
It's mainly a...
Yeah, pretty much, as it carries its prey away.
Please, I'm a sheep that
You-
can talk.
You wake Sariel.
I'm third.
You're third. You were second. No, you were last.
I was last.
Yep.
Silkus is taking his own watch then. And then he will
Jack.
sleep for the last, so you won't have the extra help. So Silkus goes on watch, or takes over completely.
Natural 20.
That is so cocked, but it could have been a natural one. Wow, he's doing well today. That's a 19 with a natural 18.
Well, he's going to wake up and his luck will be shot.
So, Silkus takes his watch. None of you wake up.
Oh, God.
So
We're dead.
you awaken to Silkus kind of shaking you on the shoulder for your watch, and he then goes off to trance while you get yourself set up. Roll perception for both you and Sulfur, please.
No, I'm not going to roll perception for the sulfur because she has a plan
Okay.
for this,
Oh,
and she's going to sit watching me right beside Archibald.
Okay.
She's not going to watch around the camp. As
Okay.
soon as I go to move to wake up Archibald, she's going to do it for me.
Okay. roll a perception check for yourself, and roll
an intelligence check for sulfur.
an animal handling check for Sulfur, or for you, but for the.
Okay, so perception 13
13.
and animal handling is 18.
Okay. Sulfur sits patiently.
I wish it was the other way around, but you know.
Sulfur sits patiently during your watch, next to Archibald, and you.
Oh,
take
she's
yours.
getting into this little competition.
You take your watch. You hear a couple times throughout the night. You hear what sounds to be the scraping of metal in the valley below you. Make a history check for me.
History?
I like how Windows like
Natural 20.
nice.
Kilo 3 gangs her, you know.
Yeah, as soon as you hear it, you kind of think that sounds like one of the Gorgons. As you kind of hear it, the metal just clanging as it's walking around below you. You don't feel threatened by it at the moment. It's far enough below that you don't think it could scale these cliffs to get to you, even if it did see you. But
It doesn't have the hands for it.
exactly. So.
So one of those bulls.
Yeah, one of the metal-plated bulls. Exactly right. You hear that throughout the night a little bit, but otherwise, again, relatively unbothered. You go
right
to
at
move
the
to wake.
right at the end of her shift. Can I roll to see if I wake up on time or not?
Roll a Constitution check.
I
for
mean,
me.
even if you wake up on time, you're waking up on time to like walk like right up in your shit. So
11.
11. You do not.
Man.
You are woken for your watch by Sulfur.
How?
How you,
Describe it.
how does she?
So
It's-
she sees me moving towards you, and she's like, so you're like lying down. She's like right here.
Yep.
She's been looking like over you at me the
Okay.
whole time. I'm surprised you don't have drool on you already. So she sees me
Probably
moving
do.
towards you. She stands up, really abrupt, like, ah! Literally, all 4 feet on your chest, licking you. She leaps onto you and starts licking you.
Okay. How heavy is sulfur?
Not very, like Labrador kind of weight, because she lost a bit of weight.
My lungs collapse.
Snap all of his ribs.
No, I mean, maybe I winded him, but
You wake suddenly. Sulfur jumping on you.
Hello, sulfur. How can I help you today?
she gets off you and just wags her tail and walks off, looking all smug. Like,
I pet her. Then I go make John smell like strawberries.
and she goes and wakes up John.
Uh,
Just
I-
like, you wake up John to her just like licking, like right beside your ear. So you can't quite feel wet in your ear, but you can hear it. You know?
Oh,
Yeah.
actually,
What?
I could.
Hey, Sulfur. Hey.
Sorry, John.
What?
Bad target. I changed it over to Sarah. And
Alright.
then I shall take my watch.
Okay.
Go back to sleep, John.
Yeah. Have a nice watch.
You too.
Make a perception check for me.
Natural 20. Natural 10.
You like your tens.
You know, I'm fairly average at this game. But that will be a 13.
13. Okay. Most of the night's fairly quiet. The echoes of some of the same scraping sounds of the metal kind of fill your eardrums as they move around the valley. But you don't feel threatened by anything at this stage. You do catch a glimpse a couple times of the silhouette in the sky to your south.
Yep.
You see it once as it seems to head out and down into the region where you have been before, the plains of Ekron. And then once again as it seems to come back up with something in its claws,
Okay.
and then disappear into the mountain range. And it becomes daytime.
During my watch, I just want to practice lighting up the runes without casting spells.
Okay.
Just seeing
Make
if
an
I can
Arcana check.
command some of them to turn on and off.
Yeah, go for it.
Just because I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, it'd be quite
if I need
intimidating.
if I need to intimidate someone, I can just flare up.
Okay.
Fuck you. Arcana?
Yep.
16.
16. You practice it for a while. The first few attempts that you get, you kind of light up the whole array.
Yep.
But you start to refine it, and you start to get down to the point where you're starting to, you'll see it'll light up the one room, but then it will pulse out and the whole array will light up. And you're getting to a point where you can start to isolate which one you're lighting up as you focus on it without actually activating the spell. So you are getting kind of the hang of it. But it becomes daytime. Silkus wakes first out of trance. He,
Is Sulfur back asleep?
at the moment, yeah.
Okay.
You can see the sky getting lighter, but the mountain to your left is obscure.
Is he looking at his inventory?
He might be.
What are you planning to do to her?
A couple of minutes in the bag of holding.
Also, side note, how is your inventory 2 pages already?
One's for my stuff, and one's for the bag of holding contents.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything.
Okay.
Not tonight.
Okay.
However, I would like it knowing that on our way to fight this wyvern, I'm going to keep my eye out for flowers. And I'm going to be putting them in the bag of holding. Like, the biggest ones I can find.
Okay. You haven't seen too many,
Flowers.
but
Yep.
I'll get you just preemptively to roll a perception check for me for the day.
What is with this dice? I apparently weighted it incorrectly. That's 14.
14. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. So, Silkus wakes up first, then Sari and Saltha come to, and John, finally you wake up. You go about your morning routine. Is there anything you like to do in the morning before you set off once more?
Make John tea.
Oh, thank you.
And I put something a little bit sweeter in it just because it was there.
Okay.
Thank you.
You
A rock that looked like it tasted of sugar.
Do you drink it?
I drank it.
Okay. You feel less hungover. You feel good
Excellent.
for now. Okay. So you all head off, striking camp and moving along the path. It doesn't split, or it hasn't split yet, and you continue on into the day. As you go, you are looking around, and what's our marching order?
Sarah, you've still got the map, right?
Yeah, so I guess I'll go first.
Yeah, I'll follow behind.
I will be middle behind.
Okay, and Silkus will go at the rear.
And I will give Sulfur lots of head scritches.
I will be planning my revenge.
Okay.
As we're walking.
You didn't expect us to take third, did you?
No.
Hello, camera.
As we're walking, I'll just quietly say to Sulfur, I'll get you back for standing on my chest, right? I actually
She's gonna wag her tail.
I thought about doing that to you, but then I decided I'm much bigger than you and I probably shouldn't.
So, Sariel, you
Mark
being
a day off your calendars, guys.
Oh yes, everyone do that. I should have remembered myself. So Sariel, with you being in the lead, make a perception check for me, please.
I can do it.
Does this have to do with hearing?
Okay.
No.
I can't even read that. Okay. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay.
Yeah.
As you go, you pick up on a couple things. The first thing you notice is just ahead of you. You hadn't seen it previously because it was obscured by some rock formations, but just ahead of you, you do see another Umbral relay tower. Seems to be pretty close to the pathway you're on, but it's maybe a couple kilometers ahead. And looking back, you can see the Umbral beam overhead that goes back to somewhere else that you can't quite see, and you
So
can
I
also
guess
see
the
another
Wi-Fi
Umbral
reception is quite good.
beam. Yeah, so and you can also see another
Yep.
Umbral beam split off to the other side of the range, where you can kind of peer closely, and you just make out where another tower is directly opposite you, essentially on the other side of the split. And as you move forward this day, you do also see as two Gorgons on the path below you actually spot you and start to make a bit of a racket. They see you up above. They start snorting and grunting at you, and you can see one of them even exhales this bright cloud of green kind of smoke in your direction. It doesn't reach you, but
Part of me wants to presto some sparks in that smoke to see if it's hideous Sibbleback.
And then as you watch, both of them kind of take off running back behind you, and they're watching you as you go, and you're moving forward, and they run out of sight in that direction, and you stop being able to hear them as well.
Seems like a problem.
Just gonna see if I can see. I don't really expect to, but I'm gonna check to see if I can spot anything that spooked them.
Okay. Roll a perception check.
I would say that they're
13.
looking for a way up to us.
if you're looking for a way up, roll a perception check as well. Actually, roll a history check because you've moved along this path already. So
I'd like to make an insight check to see
13?
if they're afraid of me.
roll an insight check. 13.
Yeah.
You look around. You kind of peer over the edge and see anything that might have spooked them. Nothing seems to have spooked them. It looks
Okay.
like they were probably just angry at you.
Yeah.
Sariel, what was your history?
16.
16. Thinking back, you don't recall anywhere where they could have, any at least splits in the path. You don't know if maybe there were some spots where they could climb with their hooves and their heavy bodies, but you're fairly confident they can't get up that direction. And what did you roll in insight?
18.
18. They didn't look scared of you at all. They looked angry at you. Angry at the fact that you existed, in fact.
How dare they?
Mm.
I'm going to push them
Rude.
off the cliff if they get close to us. Just stand there, thunderclap and thunder wave.
Alright, so what are you doing knowing that these Gorgons have spotted you?
Moving on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was weird, but I guess as responsible adventurers, we shouldn't pay it any more attention than we currently have.
Yeah.
Silkus, if you could watch our backs a bit more carefully, that'd be good.
Will do. Okay, so moving forward, sorry, I'll make another perception check for me, and Silkus is going to watch your back. That's a 12.
Oh, that's not great. 8.
8, okay. So you continue moving forward, you're focused on keeping the party alive and on the path, not falling down the cliff. And you're just focusing on essentially leading the party. Silkus keeps a watch on your back, and for the next few hours, he doesn't report anything strange. He doesn't report the Gorgons coming after you. Either they have given up, or they were unable to get to you in the first place. So you do eventually come to a point where the mountain starts to rise up again on your right, to where you're between essentially two mountains on this lower path. And as you push a little bit further forward for the next half hour, you eventually come out to the other side of both of these mountains, where they both come down, and then the whole area widens out and you can see a large plateau ahead of you. Sariel, the first thing you see is splayed out ahead is a scattering of relatively decently sized stone constructions. They look like houses of some sort. You see a well in the middle, and some path leading straight down the middle there, and then a larger construction central to the whole kind of plateau area that you're in.
Well.
At the moment, you don't see any movement, but I'd like you to roll a perception check.
Heads on a swivel because wyverns are around.
Yeah, 15.
15, okay. As you kind of step out into the clearing a bit, you don't currently see any movement.
Does this look like it's the town?
This
The
looks like
settlement
it's
that we're
the settlement. And you've actually reached it before Gruel estimated. So he estimated about a day's worth of travel, but you've gotten here in about just over half a day. It's early to mid-afternoon at this point.
The map probably helps.
Yes, it did. So you've navigated your way there without too much of an issue.
Yeah.
John,
I'm gonna ready my bow
Yeah.
just to be safe.
I'd like you to make a history check for me, please, as you move out into this area. And Sariel points out that this is, well, as you all realise, this is probably the location.
7.
7. You, being a Gradalian native,
Yeah.
you have had some relatively close experiences with wyverns.
Yeah.
You do know that they're no trifle to mess
Yeah.
with, and you get the feeling that you need to be quite careful here.
Okay.
You can't see any further in past these buildings, but wyverns can be quite cunning.
Yeah.
So
It's a trap.
I look behind immediately.
Roll a
Is
perception
Silkus
check.
asleep? Perception?
Yeah.
12.
12.
Bye-bye.
Silkus is not asleep. Silkus is
Has not been poisoned.
Silkus is just as enamored by the situation as the rest of you.
Okay.
As you
I want to stealthily approach building.
okay, roll a stealth
Hood
check
up.
for me.
And everything.
Roll a stealth check for me.
What do you think, guys? Matt, Marisha,
It's got to be Vax, right?
Laura Bailey. Yeah.
Laura, Vex. See, I told you.
It's a 7.
7.
Never listen to the DM.
No, never.
Alright, I'll stop now.
Dice jail. Rolled a fucking 4.
You attempt to stealthily move your way up to the shadow of the closest building. Sulfur.
Wait.
Foam close behind. Yep.
Wait. I just want to check.
You want to check?
Because if I'm moving with her,
Pack tactics. Advantage.
I think I do.
That sounds like the sort of thing that a Beastmaster Ranger would get, to be honest. I don't know. Don't
If
remember
you're
it.
traveling alone, you move at a stealthily at a normal pace.
Yeah.
I guess that's
But I am
that's
moving
also
on.
That's also for an hour or more. So.
I am moving forward away from everybody.
You have to be moving very slowly to get that benefit over that distance. For an hour or
For an
more.
hour or more. It should take you an hour to get 30 feet.
I'm just checking the actual.
Inspector Gadget.
Finally, okay. Sorry, I was just looking for Beatsmaster.
Beatsmaster?
Beatsmaster.
Beats. We're not in my favourite terrain, are we?
No.
Where
Very
is
much.
mine? A city.
Well, if it was in like a forest, I would have advantage. If Sulfur was with me.
Yeah. So, you do your best to move
It's worth checking.
stealthily up to the closest building, and you get to the shadows. You peek around.
The dust makes me sneeze.
You kind of peek around. The clearing, or the plateau itself is kind of shaped where it opens up from the path you're in, and then is like an elongated shape, and eventually
Oh, God.
coming back around to the end.
That looked terrifying on stream.
And it's towards the other end that there's this large central construction that you can see. As you kind of approach, you can see
Anyone
most
else
of it
feeling
is
like he's putting emphasis on the large central structure?
slightly. A lot of these buildings are destroyed in some way. This central piece itself seems to have once had a roof that is now no longer there. The walls are mostly intact, but it seems to have been an open construction, whereas the other buildings around seem to be houses with solid walls and a couple windows and door spaces. So, as you move further in, you kind of assess the situation.
You
as
did
do
hear me
that-
say that I have my bow out, right?
As you do that, I will reveal this.
Hmm.
Put this over here, and let's switch this over to the battle cam.
I has to opens
For the
license
Nearly
here.
started
third
recording.
session ever.
Okay,
Hey, that's not bad.
that's not bad. I was not too unhappy with that when we tested that earlier. So this should.
So I'm assuming
be-
the white patches have something under them.
Each of the
The
white
buildings.
patches, you can't really see it on there, unfortunately. But each of the white patches is a house.
Told you that there was something under the circle and squiggles.
I'll just fix. So there we go. And Sariel, you are just here peeking out from behind this house. The rest of you,
You've got
Just
to
moving
face
on.
it
Yeah.
that way.
yep, just like that.
Do we have
Yeah,
a
that's it.
sulfur?
We don't. However, I'm sure
I got
I
a
can-
green die.
This can be sulfur.
We got a green die.
Or that little ghost token.
We have a
Sulfur
tiny green die.
Should Sulfur be a spider?
No. Gross.
Yeah, I'll make Sulfur a little animated sword. Is she moving with you or?
Yeah.
She is. Okay, so she'll be back over here with you. There we go.
As long as it's something small, so you can get sort of scale.
I think if you like keep going forwards after that 30 feet, I'll probably be like, okay, I should probably go as well, just because you're not actually being super stealthy. So I think I don't get the impression that you were trying.
Hey, sorry,
I don't
She's
have. I
definitely,
don't
she's
have
definitely
a lot of
trying. You can tell that she's trying to
Okay.
be stealthy.
Yeah.
And she's succeeding at being stealthy.
Okay.
It's just the role not necessarily going to prevent being seen. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
So if you would like to move stealthily, you can go for it.
Yeah.
Or if you'd like to not move stealthily, do what you want.
I really want to get to a level where I can do pass without a trace.
19.
19. Okay, so
What level is that?
where are you moving to?
I'm following behind.
So you're going to move up to
Yeah.
over here?
Well,
So I'm gonna keep
Lelana
pace
has it.
just so that in case a wyvern
eight.
suddenly appears,
Okay.
I am there.
Got my wand out because that's always fun to cause a bit of chaos.
Alright.
Not to speak in Silkus's place, but see, like, I'm just imagining wand out.
fifth.
Just
Going
steps.
fifth.
Damn.
Sweet.
Good lord,
I have it
Silkus.
bookmarked.
Just rolled a natural
did.
19 on Silkus' stealth.
Oh yeah, I should roll a stealth check.
Let's go here.
Hey,
Natural 19, very nice.
bros.
Um,
So that's 20.
It's kind of a weird state that like the three of us are really, really stealthy.
And the ranger is not.
21.
Yeah.
21. Okay.
Hell yeah.
Where are you moving?
I'm gonna backflip up a building.
So you want to go over to like here?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. So,
So-
you've got it spread out like that now.
I want to defend my stealth and say that, like, Sulfur ran her tail across the back of my like nose, and I sneezed.
Okay.
You really should
Alright.
be immune to that by now, but okay.
She's a little bit dirty from playing with some human boy.
Can't have been me then. Because I presto after every interaction. With literally anything.
Alright, so what are you doing continuing forward? You still don't see anything at the moment. You can see all up
Are there
into this area.
windows in the building?
There are a couple
Is
windows
there
in the
point of
buildings, yeah.
entry?
The one you're next to, you have a door just around. If you were to go back out into the kind of the street part, there's a door right there, and you don't see a window on this side.
I'm
It's a
just,
door.
you know, you
You
guys,
peek around, and it doesn't look open, but you don't know if it's locked or not.
you guys could probably like be inside the buildings and have a decent vantage point from there. I don't know if the wyvern could actually fit into these spaces very easily.
Sorry, what? I'm gonna message that to you.
And you are able to
Yeah.
respond.
The three of you really could probably hide inside one of the buildings and shoot various stuff out
Maybe
the
not
door and
one
window,
building.
and then wyvern probably couldn't get inside very easily. Might be a plan if we
Yeah.
have some time before we go out and face it.
Who are you next to? Are you
I'm next to
me?
you. Yeah.
Maybe one building's not a good idea.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, we've been told it's got poison, so perhaps spreading out in buildings would be better.
Gruul
Well, it was a
specifically mentioned
poison
it has
sting.
a poison sting.
So as long as we don't get hit by that, we should be fine.
Well, I'm just thinking, have you guys seen the old Jumanji movie, right? Where they the
Yes.
stingers of those big things go through the
Yep.
car?
Yep.
Just because it can't get in the space doesn't mean it can't sting us. And if there's more targets in the building, there's more chance he'll hit.
Yeah, we don't want to put the entire
All our
party on
eggs
the
in one
same
basket.
whitewater raft.
Yes, exactly. Topical.
Not really.
No.
I'm
Okay.
gonna move out just to see whether this door is locked.
Okay. You go up to it and you go to open it. It swings open easily.
Yep.
You peer inside and it
Face
seems
to face with a wyvern.
Yeah, exactly. You peer inside, and there are a number of possessions scattered around. It looks like there's a hasty exit.
Yeah.
Does it have a roof?
It does.
This particular building?
It does, and the roof is a kind of ceramic-y. It's tiles essentially.
So this is a quite well-built village.
Yeah, so it's basically
not
made with the
thatched.
same materials that Yoln is built out of. It's all stone and hard materials like tile and stuff rather than wood. There's not much timber going around these parts.
Okay, so once I see him open the door, I'm going to sort of like do a head motion at Sulfur, and she's gonna like duck around and go into the building.
Okay, so she does.
And I will look around for 10 seconds and follow.
Okay, so you're heading into the building as well. So John, you'll just slightly step to the side here, and Sariel goes in. So you're inside the building, Sariel. You can see a number of possessions strewn about the place. It looks like they just grabbed whatever they absolutely needed in the moment and got the fuck out.
Would there be anything in the building that would be useful for me during this
What
time?
are you looking for?
Are wyverns susceptible to fire? Is there a torch?
Roll a nature check.
Is there a gas bottle?
Come on, Keyleth. That's not too bad. Nature?
Yep.
Where is that in this list? That is 13.
13. You don't know much about wyverns, unfortunately.
I'm gonna.
Well, then I'm largely going to ignore the positions. I don't want someone.
Okay. It's basically just a number of household items. There's like utensils, things like large wooden spoons and ladles hanging from an area over a countertop. There seems to be.
It is
in the
tempting to
same
take a wooden spoon because I know how good of a weapon those can be.
room.
Yeah, I'm gonna head inside as well. I'm gonna like.
Yep. So this is two separate buildings.
Oh, I
So that's the door for this building, and this is a separate building.
like have a bit of a look around, like place my stuff down, leaning up against the bed, go over to the sink. I'll grab a like medium-sized spoon and go, okay, let's do this.
Okay,
and
so
head
you
out.
essentially grab like a large ladle.
No, medium-sized
A
spoon.
okay. Specifically a medium-sized spoon.
Yes.
He's the incredibly inefficient killer.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the staff and like thread it through some straps on his backpack so it's actually like attached to his bag so he doesn't lose it.
Oh yeah, that works. Thank you.
All my gifts together.
Yeah.
Okay. Archibald and Silkus, are you doing anything? Silkus sees this and he's going to duck around. So you
You see the Archibald in slippers.
Silkus,
I was like, wait, what?
Come on, Slippers, do your
If
thing.
someone gave you some, if someone
you
gave
go.
Archibald some like bright blue slippers,
this
would
is
you wear
the-
them?
into here.
Archibald is wearing bright blue slippers. It's literally the only other form of footwear that Silkus owned. With a dash, I can get over here.
You can, yep.
So I'm just gonna.
I mean, Silkus is a
chill out
fancy
there
boy. Maybe he's wearing like
against the
bright blue
building
dots
there.
or something.
We're not taking turns here, so you can.
Okay, well then I'll go all the way into that building.
So you're gonna go around here.
Yep.
Okay, so as you come out here, you kind of come out around back here. As you come out there, roll a perception check for me.
Hell yeah, I'm good at those.
That
That was
wasn't
a
intentional.
roll.
Nice.
22.
22. As you come out there, you kind of get a glance inside here, and you can see most of it is this kind of collapsed stone, or what looks like in some cases stone that's been brought in to this building. A lot of it, there's collapsed roof under a lot of this stone area as well. And right in the middle, you can see a relatively small, for at least for what you would assume a wyvern's size to be, probably about 1.5 meters in diameter. This nest-looking thing. It's made out of softer materials, timber, leaves, that kind of thing.
Is
And
that inside the central?
it's inside the central construction. And as you see this, you do notice the shiny, smooth edge of something inside the nest.
Is that an egg?
It looks to be an egg.
I see.
You're heading in.
Yeah.
Okay, so that door's also.
I'm heading in real quiet, like.
Okay, so you do so. Roll a stealth check.
Can we see him moving?
You go to you go go to enter, and as you go to swing the door open, the door actually just falls off its hinges and clatters to the ground. Which
Still
you manage to kind of
Can we-
stomp on it and stop it from clattering, but you do make a noise.
Can we see him sort of getting further in than what we are? Like, can
Yeah,
he
as
see-
you come back out here, as you kind of glance out through the door here, you can see Archibald duck around the corner of this building further up, and then inside the door, making the clattering sound as he goes.
Alright, so I want to get Sulphur and I up in the section of white that's on the map.
This one over here. Okay, so you
And I will try to do that stealthily.
Okay, roll a stealth check. For
Doesn't
me.
always work.
I'm going to roll one for me, one for Sulphur. Here we go. I mean, that's not that bad. 13.
13. Okay, and for Sulphur?
And 10.
10 for Sulphur. Okay, so the two of you move up here and you're going inside.
It's quite close to the central thing, isn't it?
It is. It's like right next to it. And as you pass by, you also
Is the door already open?
get a nice. This is a double door on this building, and they are both wide open.
Yeah, then I'll go in. If I don't have to try and touch the door, I'll go in.
Okay, so you do so. You and Sulphur both move in. This is a larger building than the one you were previously in. Not too much larger. They're all relatively small. But this one's got what looks like a slightly nicer bed and some more decorative elements to it, at least in the sense of what an orc would consider decorative.
Okay, well,
You do see a
Unless there's
couple
something-
of like what look to be maybe ceremonial, maybe functional weapons lying around, or in some cases hung up on the walls.
I'm not going to touch anything.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like it would be useful. I'm probably not proficient in it, so
Okay.
I'm
And
just
you
going to
also
sort of look out the doors.
look out the doors, kind of peek around the doors. Okay.
Well, I'm going to be inside, but I want to be able to have a view out the door.
Yeah, that's all right. So I'll have you peeking like that. I'm essentially using XCOM cover tactics here.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I like that.
Um,
I've like done the whole like light tap on the door to open it XCOM style rather than the smash.
yeah, exactly. So you're in that building now. Just make a actually your passive perception's enough. You do also notice that the roof of this building is there are large sections missing.
Yeah.
John, what are you currently doing?
So I'm like, I think I'll stay back here.
Okay.
Oh, has he exited this building?
He has just exited the building, but if you have other plans, he's happy to go with them.
I'll look over in his direction, kind of like shoo him back into the building.
Okay, he jumps
he
back
going?
around into
I'll like
the
step
doorway.
forward. Now that I'm going forward, I'll like take out my flask, get the last swig from a flask, and go, all right, let's do this.
Okay.
Crick my neck and go, okay then, big boy, you're gonna come out or what?
Okay, so you walk forward here making a lot of noise, and this here's the well. So
Yeah.
you've got that just in front of
Just
you.
like
The
spoon
wyvern
in one
steps
hand.
out,
Just like,
falls. A wyvern gets up, steps out, starts walking towards you, falls down a well.
Yes.
I was thinking more sees the wooden spoon and goes,
Fuck. Okay.
He's terrified of the
wooden
omelette.
spoons are scary.
Terrified of the omelette that John's about to make.
oh, in my mind, I was using like a kind of slightly larger than normal like dinner spoon.
No.
Right. So
It's
you
like a
you
serving
walk
Like yeah.
you walk out here. You walk forward, making a lot of noise, swinging from your flask. You kind of look up and around. You've got mountains up on all
Yeah.
sides essentially, so you can't see straight out, but you've got a view of the skies. And as you walk out, screaming loudly, taunting it to come get you. Nothing at the moment.
Well, fine then. I walk like slowly, very much keeping an eye out, just in towards the nest.
Okay. So as you get to this, so this is all, by
Yep.
the way, the triangles are all rough terrain. So
Yep.
You're currently standing on rough terrain.
Yep.
And you stand up, you kind of walk up onto the stones a little bit. You can see how the stones are arranged in such a way that they come up to they provide a bed essentially for the softer materials, where inside that is a large egg that you can now see clearly sitting in the center of its nest.
Yeah.
So far.
Okay. I'm just like looking at the ceiling of the
Everyone
area.
make a perception check. There is no ceiling.
Awesome.
On this
Oh, there's no ceiling.
The ceiling is completely... The remnants of the ceiling are all beneath your feet. You can see that as you walk in.
Dirty 20.
Nice.
6.
Hey,
Including
By
for
the
sulfur,
way-
and this is with hearing.
okay. Difficult terrain doesn't slow your group's travel.
That's
Long
travel. That's
distance.
over a period
But
of...
it is movement.
Yeah, it's over a period of an hour or more.
Take an hour. 17 from my perception, and did you say it was with hearing?
With hearing, so sulfur should get advantage, I think.
Yeah, she does. Dean.
15?
Yes.
Okay.
And I was 17.
17. Oh, and so this. Okay, 14. Right. So,
What
Archibald?
my amnesiac is here.
Archibald and Sariel and Sulfur. What was yours?
6.
6. The three of you begin to hear in the
good sign.
distance.
It's a real good sign. All about that sign.
Starts to the sound begins to echo around this plateau area. You don't see anything yet.
Okay. I am preparing an action. I'm gonna light up all the symbols for Thunderwave.
Thunderwave.
But I'm not casting it yet because it's not within range.
I'm a
I
knock
don't
an
know
arrow.
its intention. I'm sorry for whispering. I'm not casting it yet because it's not in range and I don't know its intention.
Okay, so you're just kind of out of like
So
an
I-
anxious thing. You're just kind
Yeah.
of getting it going.
So
Okay.
is this echoing still
I'm
not
hearing
noticeable
it
to me
echo
at
too.
this point?
Your intent. You are like moving up on this nest. It's
Yeah.
like you understand the implications of what you're currently doing, and you are racking with nervous energy, and you don't
Yeah.
quite notice it yet.
Oh god, that's an egg. Oh no. Oh,
Yeah.
what are the
Like,
moral implications
I'm
of this?
standing on a wyvern's nest.
Yeah.
So
I'm slightly larger than a sheep. They shouldn't be able to carry me off with great ease.
okay. As you is
We
anyone
did
doing
the
anything?
thing.
Are you doing anything right now?
I think I'm like standing, like taking a step closer to yeah, and I'm just
Yep,
like
get closer.
standing here, just like looking around, just being like, okay, just I don't want to be particularly attacked by surprise, so I think I am
Okay.
looking on the ground and also a moderate amount in the air, but not exclusively in the
I
air.
have a feeling that he's being warned by all of us to not go
Yeah.
closer.
At this point, make
and
another
at this
perception
point,
check.
he's like Nemo.
I'm gonna touch the boat.
I touched the butt.
Touch the butt. Make another perception check for me, Jen.
Hooray! Dirty 20.
Nice. You now hear it.
Yeah.
Having your friends warn you from the buildings around you, you can hear the flapping of the wings as it's getting closer and closer. And as you kind of look up and stand to watch, you see this shape crest over the rocks around you. And
Yeah.
as it comes out, it's quite large, and you can see in its claws it is clutching prey of some kind.
Yeah.
It is
Jonathan
going
Meredith
to-
Law, get away from there.
Okay. Somehow it doesn't yet see you, and it is now.
Smacks into
It
you.
is coming down. You seem to be obscured mostly at the moment by the standing wall here of the building. As it flies in over here.
What's it carrying?
As it
Can I say that?
Roll a perception check. You can see
Because
it.
I'm actively looking at it, and I want to make sure that it's not carrying battle gorgons. It's probably carrying battle gorgons.
What was that, 7?
Yeah.
I think
It seems to be carrying a small furry or fluffy animal of some kind. It looks maybe like a goat.
It's got a sheep. Kill it.
Yep, what are you doing?
I think I'm going to.
You're off the
How
street.
large is the egg?
It's probably about this big.
Okay, so a bit
So-
inconveniently large to do that with.
Come this way. Mate.
Wait,
Yeah, keep going that way.
is that better?
Slightly.
Slightly.
So
I moved because I was
think
like
I'm gonna-
hitting the elbow.
I can move back out here because I want everyone to have a nice clean line of sight.
Okay. So
And
you,
I'm gonna like wave it down and be prepared to like rage and rush it the moment that it touches down, basically.
okay, so you move out there. I would like everyone else to make a stealth check for me, please, including Sulfur. Nice. Natural 20 for Silkus again.
So always stealing my thunder. I got a 20, and he
Can I-
has to go natural.
Can I roll like an anti-stealth?
Yeah, go for
roll a performance check. And Sariel, what did you two roll?
Well, I got 18, and she got a natural 20.
Wow.
7 performance.
So
Oh well.
24.
Hey,
Yeah.
that was quite literally all of our rolls.
That was such a good stealth roll. Holy crap.
So,
I didn't
did
hear what
you
everybody else got, sorry.
find a fry pan or something in the egg nest, and now you're just like banging them together?
Clang, clang, clang. You know, if you
I
hit the
am
lighter with
so
a fry
great.
pan, right, it's going to die instantly. That's how it works, right?
PUBG rules.
Yeah, exactly.
No, what he's got to do, Oscar, is it's got to be a running jump, like a Superman punch, but with a fry pan.
Yeah.
It's like going
It
after
now
a shark
sees
with a
you.
chainsaw.
Yeah.
I would like everyone to roll initiative, please.
I'm good at that.
Okay.
That wasn't a roll.
Oh, Silkus, what are you doing?
Oh, I want to take my first one, but I didn't go well.
Okay.
Oh,
Does
no.
she share my initiative? She does say.
I think so. No, maybe. I don't remember.
Can I share Sariel's initiative?
It won't matter either way, honestly.
So that's both raw rolls.
But
Very
myself,
nice.
but not for you, so.
Where is my initiative tracker?
I rolled
It's
really
gone.
well.
My initiative tracker has disappeared. And I don't know where to. So I guess I'm just going to write this in the book.
Oh, we're fighting Gruul.
Like a shithead. Okay.
The
Bear with
wyvern
me here.
touches down. Hello.
Hello!
I do want to see if I can speak to it.
Okay.
Well, I'm not going to be trying that, so you have a very short window.
We've got like 3 turns before you
So-
destroy it.
30 to 20.
Hey.
You never answer my question. Can I share Sariel's initiative?
No.
22.
For you?
Yes.
Okay. So that's you, is that you and Sulfur or?
That's me.
Okay.
Sulfur, if she shares my initiative, which I think she does, is 21.
I don't think we've been marking it separately previously. So.
No, but like, I mean, like, so I've got a +3. So if she shares that +3.
Oh right. No, she just gets her dex bonus if she does not.
Well, then she's dirty 20.
Okay.
I rolled an
Fantastic.
18 and a 19, and I'm really happy about it.
Let me get myself situated here because I'm real bad at this game. Okay. So you were 22?
A 19 and 3. Is that 22?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And
Okay.
then she's dirty 20.
Fine.
Oh, cool. Sariel,
So fair.
Sulfur, 20 to 15. Okay, 15 to 10.
13.
13. And what's your dexterity modifier?
+1, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm going to chuck you here.
Which means rolled the same as something.
10 to 5.
9.
9. And then 4 poor Silkus.
What? That's a 7.
Yep.
Does he have a -3?
No, Silkus rolled a natural 7 and he has a 0 on initiative.
Oh,
so-
okay. So I heard 4 for Silkus.
Oh.
Oh.
Yes,
Minus
that's why I
3
was like,
for-
wait, what?
-3 for initiative would be impressive.
Yeah.
That would be.
That makes me
I
want
feel
to
like
make
that's
a
something
character.
that Michael could do and still be badass.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, like, you don't need to go first in combat. After the first turn, like, it's basically even anyway.
Pretty
I
much.
could have a -1 billion to initiative, and it wouldn't be much worse than a -3.
Yeah, well. Okay, so
Depends how many things you're fighting, really.
as the wyvern comes into view and spots John, it starts to swoop down in
Yeah.
on you. And Sariel, it is now your turn. You can take your turn equal with Sulphur's if you like, since you're right next to each other in initiative.
Now I read something in the sheets that Anna wrote.
You have
Advantage
I have
on
something
the
against
first round in
something
combat.
that isn't been injured yet.
yes. So you do have advantage on the first attack in your initiative
long
on a
as it
creature that
hasn't
hasn't yet acted in initiative, I believe.
I have advantage to hit this thing.
Yes, on your first attack.
Alright, so I'm a hunter's market.
Okay, you do so. Where are my things? They're in this thing I just put away.
Hunter's mark.
Hunter's mark!
And then I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay,
You ready for me to shoot it?
I am ready for you to shoot it. Go ahead.
And I get advantage.
You do get advantage.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Yeah, that hits. So as it swoops in and you get a glimpse of it going for John, what is your damage?
So does the hunter's mark get doubled as well?
Yes, all dice.
So that's 33.
33 total damage for a
So
first
12. Wait, no. It'll be 31.
31. Okay,
I miscalculated by 2.
31 total damage. So that is on there. Okay, that is a good first hit. Is there anything else you're doing with your turn?
Floating. No, but Sulphur's going to leave my side and go and do the whole stand between John's legs thing.
Okay. Okay,
Because
she's
this
going to
is
run over.
something we're going to train into her now.
Oh, damn.
So she goes
We have a mini.
5, 10, 15.
I think
20,
we might have greatly
25,
misjudged
30.
this.
She can use her dash to
I'll
get
be
between
fine,
John's
I'm
legs, or
sure.
she can
Yeah. Well, I mean, she can't really bite or anything.
35,
from
40,
this
45,
distance.
50. She's like right with you there, John.
Okay.
Which brings us to John. It's now your turn as the wyvern swoops in. It's still clutching this,
Yeah.
looks like a goat between its claws.
It's like swooping pretty close yet, or not? Or not?
It's
I'm
about.
wondering whether I can basically scoop up a rock and lob it in its direction.
Well, at this point, it's about 50 feet away from you.
Okay.
Are you a lacrosse player right now?
That was not in fact my plan.
That is amazing, though.
But it is
I
now.
love the idea. The human catapult.
It's just a darts player.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. Okay, I'm gonna rage and I'm
Okay.
gonna dodge.
Okay, so
That's
you're
my
going to
turn.
rage and take the dodge action.
Yes.
So disadvantage on attacks versus you.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm like, come at me, and then I'm gonna.
Okay.
Ideally.
Oh, I put this down. I did not want to put this down. It is now the wyvern's turn. As it swoops in, the first thing it's going to do, you notice is it banks upwards. And as it goes, it flies over you. It actually drops the goat
On you.
which is going to be
What is...
a natural 1. Does 8 hit?
Hang on. Was that with disadvantage?
I mean, does it matter with the natural one?
Sorry, I just wanted to check.
Yeah, I know. It does an 8 hit?
An 8 does not hit. I
Okay.
casually bat the sheet
Yeah.
aside.
As this goat flies out of its
Yeah.
claws, it skims over top of your head and goes and it rolls towards you. Archibald, it ends up pretty close
Does it
to
make
your
a very
door here.
loud slap?
Not quite. It's not that far off the ground. The wyverns are going to swoop around and come back at you, finally coming down and landing right here briefly. And it is going to make one attack, because that was part of its multi-attack.
Yeah.
It's going to make one attack with its stinger at you. So that is a natural 19 plus 7. So that will hit.
Nah, it misses, man.
You,
Presto
you,
close.
you forgot the disadvantage.
Oh, yes, because you're still in dodge. Natural 15 plus 7, so it's 22.
Yeah, that's still a hit.
It was worth a shot.
It was worth a shot. So that is 2d6 plus 4. So that is 11 piercing damage. And it would have also done a number of poison damage as well. However,
See, me giving it to him was a good idea.
you are immune. So you don't have to make that constitution saving throw that I would have gotten you to make. With that, it is going to remain where it is, and that's its turn.
Damn right
How
it
high
is.
off the ground is it?
It's currently on the ground. It landed to attack John with its stinger. You watched as it kind of came down, skidded to a halt in front of John, went down almost to spread out its wings, got low to the ground with its head right above the ground, and its stinger came over its back and went and took the swipe at John.
Dude's a scorpion that can fly.
Basically, Archibald, is your turn.
Cool. I'm gonna swing around and I'm gonna shoot it.
Can I have how many more of those d6s do you have?
How many do you need?
7.
I mean, I want to use D6s as well, but no, I'm not high enough level. Yeah. I don't want to get hit by 7d6. Why am I helping you? Yeah, that's 7.
4.
Mate, I know
Thank
how to
you.
count. Alright,
I mean,
fine.
Yeah, but
we don't
I
know
mean,
yet. You
could
might,
have counted
you
it
might
correctly,
need.
just-
He might need 14.
I'm-
Actually, I guess you wouldn't need them. You just max them.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna crit on it. I'm shooting it with.
Do it.
I don't know.
Crit.
What are you doing?
I wanna roll 3 d20s, so I'll do it scorching ray.
Scorching ray.
Yep.
Okay. That's cocked.
Is it?
Yeah.
Sweet. That's what
That was worse.
I'd like to take the cocked result.
What's
Quick question:
where's
Is
the other D20?
is he hidden from it?
Oh, fair. Currently, it doesn't know that he's there yet. So you
So
just get
he is
advantage. On
Wait, I should have kept those. One was an 8, one was a 9, and one was a 2.
what was
Plus
it? Okay.
a 7. Yeah, plus 7. No? Plus 5.
What are you doing
Would
with
it-
your wand?
Plus
The-
5.
13 hit?
Like, I guess if they're all
13
launched at the
just
same
hits.
time.
Okay,
then-
so one of them hits.
One of them is hit.
But.
That's
Really?
also cocked, actually.
I want a natural 20.
Oh! That's alright. So one has hit.
Fine.
So roll your damage on that. That's a
4.
4.
Oh, well,
Okay.
that was through the wand that I should have said. I did have it out. When
He
I
did
went
say he
into
had
the
it out.
village.
I'll allow it. Roll a
I
d100.
also asked before he rolled if he was doing it through wand. I just
Thank
I've
you.
forgotten once again to print this off, so I need to search for it.
33.
Okay, so nothing happens.
Oh.
However, I will open that doc and get
I
rid
guess I'll just take 4. I'll just hit it for 4. Then I'll hide behind the building again and be like, well, that sucked.
Okay, so you're ducking back into the building, staying away from it. All right,
I'm gonna
Silkus.
be a grumpy low-level wizard for a while, guys. I just sit in there and drink what's left.
Silkus.
I'm very method.
The fuck, I just got to see a horse centaur by accident.
A centaur that's half horse, half centaur.
Didn't I post
I
that?
did.
Silkus is going to step out and he's going to aim an ice knife at kind of the over here on it.
It's no use, Silkus. I still refuse to use a weapon, no matter what you throw at me.
Where is that spell, please? There it is. So he's going to step out here and throw this ice knife at it. He also gets advantage because it doesn't know that he's there. So that
Look at us all getting advantage.
is a 14. I'm going to say +5 as well because that's what yours is. I'm just going to go with it. So that's a 19. That does hit. So the wyvern takes... Where's my d10? There it is. The wyvern takes 2 piercing damage. Plus... He has to make a dexterity saving throw. Which it is going to do against
You guys see
Silkus's
this,
spell
background?
DC. It succeeds. So it doesn't take the extra damage. But because he aimed it away from you, it doesn't affect any of you either. So that is going to be Silkus's turn as he steps back into the building. It now knows he's there. Which brings us back around to the top of the initiative order. Sariel and Sulfur, what are you doing?
Now, looking at this map, those black marks, are they like...
Black marks, these ones here.
Well, you'll have to wait for me to catch up. Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the walls of that building, essentially.
XCOM styles. I'm going to back myself up to one of them.
Okay, so where you've got, I assume, you want to have so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You just make it to where you can peek around and see the wyvern.
Wicked. I'm going to shoot it.
Go for it. Roll your attacks.
One attack.
Roll your one attack.
14.
14 hits.
Great. I hate math. 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay. Noted.
Wait, no, more than that.
More than that?
Plus 3. 11. I forgot to plus the plus at the after the dice.
Okay.
I'm tired.
Noted. Alright.
But that
and
will
it's
be
on
my
saves.
turn.
Oh,
and-
I forgot to put that on earlier.
Sulfur will bite it. Does she get advantage? Where's John?
Right next to it.
Right next to. So yes, you get advantage for pack tactics.
Cool. 15.
15 hits. Roll your damage.
And remember that it has to do me a DC 11 strength saving throw.
That is true.
Damage, I'm doing the correct amount
So-
this time. 7.
7 damage. Okay. Also noted. All
Did it
right.
succeed at the...
It did. Yes. It
Save?
succeeded at the save. John, that is now your turn.
Okay. So I'm gonna face this wyvern, and then I'm gonna recklessly try and gouge at its face with a spoon.
Okay. Roll your attack.
Someone's aiming for an ice scoop.
Ha!
I have
That's
to say, I
a
do
21.
love-
21 to hit.
I do
Does
love
hit.
the improvised weapons going on in this campaign.
I can't wait till he's able to back it up with a feat.
That's a shame. That's only 8 damage.
Only 8 damage. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Is
Mister.
there anything
did
else
you
you'd like
roll?
to do?
I rolled a 1 on my d4. And then I'm going to grapple it, so I'm gonna try and grab it. Like
Okay, roll a
it's like
contested.
feathers around its like throat, I think.
Yeah, it's got feathers. It does have feathers.
Yeah.
Roll
So-
a contested athletics check.
So we're
which
playing
is,
with updated dinosaur rules.
Natural 19 plus 4, which is a 23.
Beats out my 19.
Okay, so it manages to wrench its neck free of your grapple.
Does he rip out some feathers?
He does. He does rip out some feathers. Doesn't deal any damage, but it's angered it.
Does
That's for
irritate
yeah.
it?
sure.
He's doing
I
the ESO
want
tanks
an
talk.
omelette.
Is that your turn?
That's my turn.
Okay, it is now its turn. It is going to take another attack with its stinger and one with its claws at you.
This time with advantage.
This time with advantage on both attacks because you reckless.
Mm-hmm.
So the stinger is
But
a
it
natural
has
17.
disadvantage because I want it to.
Natural 17 plus 7, so it's
Yep.
24.
Might
Which
hit.
again that's 14 total damage.
I'm
Yep.
so glad you're out there fighting it.
And of
Aren't
course
you
you
glad
don't
that
have
I
to
gave
make a
him the poison
saving throw.
plus?
Yeah.
And then the second attack with the claws
Yep.
is a natural 19 plus 7, which is 2d8. That's only 4 plus 4, which is 8. So another 8 damage on top of that. And then, once it's attacked you, it is going to take off and fly up and
Opportunity attack.
above. Go for it. So it's just gonna, I'm going to say it's hovering over this building right now.
And that's a
Does
miss.
Dolphin get an opportunity attack at all? I don't know.
Sulfur
Sulfur
should.
does, yes. So she
Aha!
can take a bite.
What did you get?
Oh, 8.
Yeah, it doesn't hit.
16.
16 does hit. Go for
And
it.
better run another DC 11 strength.
It succeeds.
7.
7 damage. Okay.
Yeah. Bite him, my girl.
Alright.
Get that feathered weirdo.
So he's now hovering up and over this building here.
Did you accept a fried egg?
It's hovering about 30 feet in the air above the building.
Yeah.
Archibald, it's your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna give him the good old 1, 2, 3
Mm-hmm.
with my 120 foot range.
How much damage?
Archibald's done with spells that won't hit. I'm rewriting his entire spellbook, guys.
That's not bad.
11.
11 total
11
damage.
points of force damage straight in its eye that John tried to scoop.
Okay.
You gotta give it the consistency of ice cream so you can scoop it.
So as it takes off and starts to fly away from John, he takes his opportunity attack, and you send off 3 magic missiles in its direction, which connect with it right as it reaches its location. It turns around and just gets these 3 magic missiles to the face.
Glenn didn't save through the wand.
Ah.
You didn't say through the wand. Next time you're going to say it.
I guess I'm just holding it with one hand and being
You
like,
know, I might just start doing like a swish and flick motion every time it's turn.
swish
Hey,
and
just
flick.
like, hey, Sariel, mind rolling that egg one out? Want to bring this guy right into the melee.
I should have
Okay.
just lit
Rolling
Is that
the
your turn?
what now?
The egg.
Bonus action hide. Can I?
No, you cannot.
Alright, fine. I will step back inside the building and go around a different corner. Because I have a corner over here.
Okay.
What's that?
Where is
Where
my
am I?
thing? There it is.
Nobody knows.
You are, so you're inside the building still.
Yep. Am I visible?
You are not visible. No.
Excellent.
So you are behind full cover right now.
Excellent.
It is now Silkus's turn, who is going to step out. Let me find his spell
Hey
list again.
Google,
And you can just send me the
remind
spell
me in
list.
3 minutes to say through my wand.
He is going to. Ooh.
The harmony.
Thank you, Google, you dickhead. So Silkus is going to step out here, and he is going to cast Enlarge
That's
on
awesome.
you.
Aha.
On you, John. So he you watch as he steps out with his cane, he activates the top of it. The spiral of iron powder starts whirling around, and then he thrusts at you, and the hurricane comes towards you, surrounds you for a bit, and you grow in size. So you are now enlarged.
Excellent.
Which I don't know what that does.
How many eggs are there in the nest?
I get an extra d4 damage, I think.
I think that's the main thing, and you get,
And I get
grapple
some
stuff
bonuses, which I mostly already had due to rage.
Yes. So.
But also,
How
it
many-
means I can
how many
probably
eggs?
reach this thing's ankle.
Yeah. So you are enlarged. Which I'll. That's a second level spell, right?
Think so.
Enlarge.
How did I activate it from all the way over here? And whose phone is that connected?
Double in size.
It just has
It's
really
connected
good
to
hearing.
Increases its size by one category from blah 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 blah. Advantage on strength checks and saving throws. And you dealing extra d4 damage. So yes, that's about what you get. And then Silkus is going to step back inside once more, and cower. Okay. Which brings us back around to Sariel. It is now your turn again.
How many eggs are there in the nest?
There is just one.
Just one.
Just one egg.
Well, you know what? That puts a damper on what I planned on doing.
Do you want to
I was gonna juggle them.
I think
Gotta start learning somewhere.
also the detail, which it sounds like you may have missed earlier, that they're absolutely enormous.
Yeah, it's like
I still would have tried to juggle that
it's
shit.
like a
Oh,
meter
okay.
long. So it's a big.
Because the
ass
point
egg.
is that I would fail. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the nest and roll the egg towards John.
Like, it's on a hill,
Okay.
so if you can get it out of the
5,
nest, I
10,
imagine
15,
it'll...
20, 25, 30. So you get to there.
And I
I'm
just
gonna say
want
you
to
get to there,
shove
that's
it
fine.
at John.
Make a strength check for me. Athletics check.
Make up your mind.
Basically going to be the same thing.
Make a
Isn't
sleight of hand check.
21.
Shut up, Google.
Natural 19.
it?
so
Natural
21.
19. You put all your weight behind this egg and you give it a hefty shove and it comes up, and then you just manage to crest it over the timber part or the part that's made of sticks around this nest as it rolls down this crest and into the stones, starts clattering down the stones. It doesn't break, but it clatters out, and the egg, I'm going to put...
Purple lump?
Yeah, I'm going to put this...
Oh, no.
I'll put the ghost. The ghost can come out here. The egg is now at the base of this pile of stones here, just lying there. I'm going to roll perception for the wyvern.
That's cocked.
Cocked as hell. Natural 1. It doesn't notice this yet. It is too focused on John, who's just grown in size. So,
I mean, that's fair.
is that your
Yeah.
turn?
Was that my action?
That was your action, yeah.
Out of character? Thank you. In character.
Oh.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
Oh.
I was trying to think if there's anything I could do, but I couldn't think over the giggling. So my turn's ended.
It's Sulphur's turn now anyway, so
Is she still 5 feet from John?
she is still 5 feet from John.
Can she reach the thing?
No.
She cannot reach the wyvern, no.
What if she jumped?
It's about 30 feet off the ground.
So it's not one of those things where she could like a dog does and jump up, grab
No.
the stick, and just hang off it. Oh. She's going to growl at it.
Okay, so Sulphur turns to it, growls at it, and
Its
does
defense
otherwise
falls.
nothing. Stays next
No,
to
no,
John.
no. The wyvern's defense falls.
Yes, the wyvern's defense falls. Its AC is
With
nine.
this little tinkly sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The AC has gone down by 1. I'm kidding. Is there anything else you wanted to do?
Well, she can't really do all that much if she can't reach it.
Okay. In that case, John, it is your turn. You're enlarged.
Okay. I'm going, since it's hiding up in the air like a coward.
The cowards fly.
I'm gonna.
You feel like you
Yeah.
could probably reach it from the top of that building in your enlarged state.
Okay. In that case,
maybe
I'm gonna. Thank you.
Okay. Yep. Where are you going?
Yeah, I'm gonna try and
5.
see if I can get to the place where I can reach it from the building.
Okay, 10,
Yeah.
15, 20, 25. And you can scale the building for the rest of your movement if you would like to try
Yep.
athletics.
Yeah, I'll do so.
Ooh,
That's a mere 11.
11, that's all right. It's in your enlarged state. The buildings aren't tall,
Yeah.
so you managed to get up onto the top. And you are now just within your range. You can like jump and hit it.
Yeah,
So you can roll an attack if you'd like to go for it.
yeah, I'll do so.
So this is not reckless?
Not reckless.
Okay, good to know.
That's a 17.
That hits. Roll your damage.
That's a 43.
Okay, so it's with this spoon stab, and that one is very much off the table. Haha! So that is, what is that? 15 damage with my spoon.
15 damage with a spoon. How do you do 15 damage with a spoon?
The spoon is clutched
Spicy.
in a very large fist, I must say.
And the spoon grew with you.
And
I like how he effectively doubled your damage.
I double my damage dice, please.
Yeah, that's true.
Now he's just got to max it, and then you'll really be screwed.
I mean, I'd be very happy to have 2d4 plus 14.
Okay.
And then with my other hand, as I jump up, I'm going to try and grab its ankle.
Bonus action grapple, go for it. That's a 10 plus 4, which is a 14.
10 plus 5.
Oh, so John, you managed to grapple it, and you pull it down about a foot out of the air as you grab its hanging leg, and as you land, you bring it part of it down with you. You're now holding onto it with your left hand, with the spoon in your right,
Yep.
ready to launch another attack. As it kind of
I feel
Its
like
neck
my blood
snaps
is
around.
fighting this woman.
its neck snaps around to you, and it screeches at you in anger.
Oh, hey, pretty.
And it is now its turn. It is going to try and fly away, which it can't do, and it is going to take 2 attacks. One with its
Which it can't do.
bite and one with its stinger.
It can't do it.
Uh-huh.
It's so restrained that it's going to miss all its attacks.
Wasn't reckless, right?
Wasn't reckless.
That's the bite, that's the stinger.
Okay.
Told ya.
Okay, so the bite is 14 to hit.
I think that's a hit.
Stinger's 25 to
hell?
hit. Yeah, so that hits.
Yeah, that's a hit.
So both hits. So the bite is...
Oh damn, my armor class is low. I forgot.
That is 11,
Well, you're a wizard, aren't you?
15 damage
Okay.
on the bite, and on the stinger, an extra... Oh, that's cocked. An extra 11 damage on the stinger. And
7,
again,
11?
you don't need to
I'm
make...
hungry.
Yeah. You don't need to make a Constitution saving throw. That is going to end its turn as it's frantically trying to fly away from you.
Yeah.
Which brings us to Archibald. Is your turn once again?
I'm around the corner from
You
where
are.
I am.
You
I'm
are.
not going to move forward, move my piece because it's too far away, and
That's
I'll just
fine.
go back there anyway.
Yep.
He's gonna
Through my
peek out.
wand,
Okay.
I am casting
Nice.
a magic missile. After the whole personal assistant debacle, I'm not forgetting that anytime soon.
Okay. Roll your attack first, and then roll a D100 for me.
What? No. It's a magic missile.
Oh right. Yes. Okay. No, sorry. Never mind. Roll a D100 for me.
50.
50. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well. So nothing happens, unfortunately, but you do cast magic missile.
I don't like this new nerfed wand. I want to cast disintegrate.
That's not bad. It's pretty good.
3, 7, 12.
damage. Okay.
And then I duck back behind the corner.
Once again. So that's 100 and... okay, you've either done a decent amount of damage over the course of this battle.
I've done 14.
Is
No,
it
you
Circus'
did
turn?
like didn't you do 11 and then?
Yeah, that's true. I
Yes.
did.
So
For my bonus action, I'd like to cast an action, but because I can't, I'll just use my bonus action to... I don't know, is there like a spoon or something on the ground in there?
You are... I mean, there are a number of possessions around. Like, there's
What is
there's
there
another one
around?
there's essentially a relatively utilitarian household's
Yep.
worth of stuff. There is some... You see some gold lying around.
Yep.
You see all the regular utensils, large spoons, ladles, forks, things like that.
I'm going to take a spoon because John seems effective with a spoon right now.
Okay.
And I'd like that to happen later on in the game.
Okay.
Like,
So you're going to take a... Is it a small, medium, or large wooden spoon?
I'm taking one of each.
Okay. I will allow that to happen with your bonus action. You run over and
wait,
grab
you're
some spoons.
stealing their wooden spoons.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do when we're in a fight? Just perpetually throw spoons at John?
I'm going to hand them to him before the fight. How else are we supposed to win against the big bad evil
I
guy?
have a really good plan. Let's go to a blacksmith, right? Get him to make a metal reinforced spoon and give it to John. It's not a
but if you
weapon,
use
it's
it
a
more than
spoon.
once for a battle, if you use it for more than one battle, it becomes a weapon, and you won't use it.
Damn it! But it's a spoon.
Anything's
Fine,
a
I'll
weapon
get,
if you
like,
try hard
10
enough.
For a day, maybe you can convince me to be a shovel knight.
For a day.
For a
For
day.
Guys, that is permanently in the bag of holding contents. Okay, yeah, that's my turn. I just
Okay.
needed a little bit of insanity to offset my bad rolls. Okay, Silkus, what are you doing?
Silkus, he is going to run out and spend another first level spell to cast Ice Knife once more.
Any better spells, Josh?
He
When you
has
watch this
focused
later.
on some things that... So he's going to run out here 5, 10, 15
I do actually quite like Ice Knife.
to there.
Ice Knife's stupid powerful for a first level.
And if he he's going to aim once again at a part of the wyvern that's not near you, which is easy enough
Yeah.
because it's a large creature. So he rolls, subtracts a 9, doesn't hit. However, it does explode nearby, which means the wyvern has to make a dex saving throw. It succeeds and doesn't take any damage. So because it's very frustrated. He's
I
actually
mean, at least
going
he's able
to...
to take some, like, do stuff in this fight, because last time he was stuck on the other side of that bridge, so.
He's going to do 5, 10, 15, move out
Just saying.
here towards that building as he goes. In fact, I'll retrospectively do that for him. There we go.
Retrospectively? Retroactively?
Whatever.
Retroactively.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And Sariel, back to you.
I'ma shoot it.
Okay, so you're going to have to move from where you are because you can't currently see it.
I'm gonna move into a position where I can.
Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You can now see it. That's the
Oh,
right.
there it is.
There we go.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Roll your attack.
22.
26.
26.
Yeah, I
Nice.
was in that range.
Go ahead and roll your damage.
10.
10 damage. That's including Hunter's Mark, yeah?
It too. I'm rolling. Look, I've positioned it so that I have my dice all set up perfectly. So I've got my hit, my damage, and then I've got if she's near somebody and her damage because I keep forgetting that it's 2d4. 1.
Yeah.
Alright. Is that your turn?
I believe both my other spells are actions. Yeah. So So yeah, that's my turn.
Okay, Sulphur's turn. She is out in the open right now. Jong is no longer near her.
How far away Archibald is she, or where she thinks Archibald?
She's within running distance of Archibald.
She in a running distance of John.
If she manages to scale the building, which is a fairly unlikely thing, it's quite
She'll run towards Archibald then.
Okay, so
Because she ain't
Totally
she
gonna
ain't getting
trip
up
over
early.
a wolf next attack I take.
okay, so she's just inside the door next to Archibald right now.
She's just like playing full on protection.
Okay, so she's going to stand there and let you kind of cast around her.
Do I get a +2 to AC?
No, however, she has an action. If you like, she can use the help action, which wouldn't help him with an attack, but it would help with if anything else comes his way.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So she uses her action to do that. Now, is there anything else?
I think so.
Okay, John.
Unless she can bonus action like lick his hand.
Sure, she does that. John, what are you doing?
Guess who's getting a spoon in the ankle? It's a
Right on the
Actually sounds
bony
like it
part.
would
It's a-
really hurt.
it's
Right
a
on the
big
bony part of
venomous
the ankle.
bird.
After having
Roll 20!
What?
I'm-
This crits!
I'm gonna need some more D4s.
No, you're
That's
not.
alright, you're only maxing it.
All
so-
right, I forgot.
It's 16 plus whatever.
Yep, so that is 23 damage.
Nice,
That's
with a
pretty
spoon.
decent.
Are you about to spoon this thing to death?
Not quite. 23?
It's gonna be
23.
amazing if it dies to a spoon.
Okay.
And with my bonus action, I'm
Yep.
going to second wind.
Okay, go for it.
Damn,
Five
that's
level
not very good, but whatever.
Alright.
He crit this
Next
turn.
turn.
He should get like the full second.
That's my turn.
Because you still have movement, and you can technically drag it at half speed if you want to.
Just drag it back to the battlefield.
You are
Get down
classified
here.
as the same size category as it right now, so...
Because I really like the image of it, yeah, I'm gonna like jump off the side of the building.
Okay.
Whoop.
You do, with 15 feet of movement, you manage it, and you
Just
drag it down.
dragging
It's
it
like
down,
right on
like-
top of the building. It is touching the top of the building as you've jumped down and you've got your arm above you. That's your turn.
That's my
Yep.
turn. Yeah.
Mary Poppins.
It is its turn. It's going to use its action to try and break free. So
I
Yeah.
like the idea of him using it like an
it is contested
featherfalling
athletics.
in a more literal sense.
That's a 18.
Yeah, it doesn't break free. It's trying real hard, but John is just too strong for it. And it can't move, and it's used its action, so that is it. You are really disabling it right now. Archibald.
I'm gonna pet Sulfur
Yep.
as I walk out into the doorway. Good girl. I'm gonna look it square in the eye that hasn't been spooned
Hey, what are
and
you
shot
using?
it with magic missile.
Okay.
And I'm going to shoot magic missile through my wand.
Yep.
There
I'm
we
gonna
go.
be like, "Hi, bitch."
Okay. So roll your D100.
I want something to happen, so I'll use the different ones. 60.
60.
Exactly.
Okay. Unfortunately, nothing happens. You're trying. I appreciate it.
He's remembering to use the one.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you too then. 8.
8 damage. Okay. It is looking rough.
Ruff.
Rough.
Ruff.
it
Bonus
seems
action,
to be
I'd like to action search.
I wish. So that's your turn.
Yep. Shout out
Okay.
to Wizards for only getting 1 attack per round.
So
We're level 3, dude. What do you want?
More attacks!
more attacks. I
can't
want
wait.
more.
No.
More actions.
Okay.
It's another spell slot. I'm gonna be forced to use my second level spell slot
So
soon.
with this,
It does.
Do you double the amount that you do with magic?
So you just cut off after the word magic in that sentence.
Is it magic mouth?
No, I forgot what I was saying.
Do you double
Do
the
you
damage?
double the dice if you cast magic missile at second level? Like, do you get
No,
more
I
than
get
An extra
one
miss.
extra dart, so I roll an extra d4 plus 1.
So you do 4
oh, there it is.
missiles.
4d4 plus 4, basically. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Okay, so Silkus, before he continues moving, he's going to stop there for a second, and he is going to withdraw his cane once more. And as he raises it towards the wyvern, you see as he's choosing a point right about here, he is going to cast Sleep, attempting to sleepify the wyvern. 1, 2... 3, 4. Wait, this is D8s I need to be using. Hold on.
Oh my god.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. So that's 12, 13, 20,
So what you're telling me is
28.
it's under 42 hit points.
I didn't even roll to hit. Wait, do
How
I need
did-
to do that? Oh no, I don't.
It makes a save. Sleep, it makes a constitution save, I think.
No, it doesn't.
It
doesn't do
doesn't. It just.
anything.
It's
There's
just.
no save or hit, so that
It's
is
just based off its hit points.
just based off its hit points. So John, as you're standing there with your hand on the wyvern, suddenly out of nowhere it just lands on you and is asleep, magically asleep. So it is now down. Oh,
Does he take falling wyvern damage?
God. Not quite. As much as I would like to make him do that. Oh god, that's really not going to work,
So
is it?
can you kill him with a spoon in
Oh.
one hand?
I absolutely am going to try.
Okay, good.
So,
He is going to, hold on.
like, I
he's
guess
going
Sariel
to-
gets her turn first, but
5, 10, 15, 20. He's going to move in here and peek out through that door. And that is Silkus' turn. So yes, Sariel, you are now up. You've just watched the
How far
wyvern.
away?
You've just watched Silkus point up at it, and the wyvern is just dropped to the ground.
How far away am I from John?
You're out of running distance unless you dash.
How badly bruised and beaten up do you look?
On a scale of 1 to 38.
38. It's 43. The scale goes higher than that.
No, I know, but on a
Oh,
scale
okay.
of 1 to 38.
On a scale of 1 to 38,
I want not like
about
a
an-
full number.
about a 19. So like an 18 in real health. Wait, no, I did that the wrong way around.
He's
Damn.
looking. He's doing
Yeah.
all right. He's doing
Yeah.
okay.
I'll move like 30 feet.
He looks about as healthy as Archibald.
I'm not gonna dash. He
You'll-
looks like he can hold out another round.
You'll full dash.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, you won't.
I'll
Okay.
use my movement
Mhm.
to get 30 feet closer.
Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So you are now within range for next round. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
I don't sleep work.
Well, you've experienced this before when Silkus
Yeah,
put
with the
something else to sleep.
trees. But-
You know that it will wake up
but
if it gets
Sulfur
attacked.
ate it.
If it takes damage, it will wake up.
Okay.
So you can hold an action if you like.
No, I'm gonna shoot it.
You're going to shoot it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna shoot it.
Okay.
Oh no.
You do get disadvantage because it's prone. So
And then re-advantage because it's unconscious, I guess. But
18.
18. Yeah, it hits. Roll
does
damage.
Does that make it a critical hit? Forget what the
You hit while it's unconscious.
It is
I
an
do
auto
a
crit, isn't
grand total of
Yeah.
5 because I rolled 1 both dice.
Is it auto crit?
Yeah.
I think it is, isn't it?
yeah. Yeah,
Auto
I
crit
guess.
because you hit. Disadvantage because ranged weapon and prone, but auto crit because you hit.
Okay, well,
So, what's the
12,
max? And double.
16 plus 3.
So
So it's-
19?
No, 12,
Yep.
16
Oh,
plus 3.
12 and 16 and 3.
28, 31.
31 damage.
Okay, so that's what I said before, right? Yeah.
So Sariel, as you run towards John and the wyvern that's just dropped onto his head, you draw an arrow and seeing that he's asleep, you got to take a shot. You release and it sinks into this underneath the skull, and you kill the wyvern. How would you like to do this?
Exactly as you described it, actually.
Okay.
Like in the soft part of the back of the head.
Just right under the base of the skull. The arrow goes all the way through, up to the fletching, buries itself in the wyvern's neck, and the wyvern drops dead. It is no longer breathing. We are officially out of initiative order.
So we're out of combat.
Yep, and that is where we're
Wait,
going to end.
But I didn't end my turn. I had something I wanted to do.
Go for it.
I was gonna walk up to John and like clap him on the back, like as an apology for taking away his spoon kill
How-
and use cure wounds.
Okay.
Where on the back? Because I'm quite tall at the moment.
Yeah, he is quite tall.
I'm like
Okay,
10
so I
feet
pat you
tall.
on the bum, please. And use cure wounds.
The butt tap of rejuvenation.
So you get 6.
Hooray! Thank you.
Woo!
Guys,
It's better
remind me
than nothing.
next time to make an omelette.
With that cure wounds, that is going to end the session. So, thank you so much to everyone who came out to the stream today. We do, of course, appreciate it. If you enjoyed, feel free to hit the follow button, and it's always appreciated as well. Those follows really support us, actually. That follow count is really, really helpful. Of course, if you really enjoyed it and you've got some extra money to spare, feel free to send a subscription or some bits our way. We always love that as well. You can join our Discord at the links below. You can join Maximum Altitude on Twitter at our Twitter handle at MaxOutOfficial. At MaxOutOfficial.
Oh my god.
Max Out Official is actually Michael's parody account
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Maximum Altitude.
You gotta take that now. And of course, each of us at our Twitter panel, our Twitter locations beneath our little panel here.
Yeah.
And if you want to inflict us on your friends, tell them about us.
Please do.
We think we're entertaining.
Yeah,
And if you're
Yeah.
here, you clearly do as well. So
Oh,
that's good.
One last announcement. Okay, Google. In 6 days, 20 hours, and 30 minutes, remind me to make an omelette.
Got it. I'll remind you on the 27th of July, 7:01
Michael's my favorite type of chaotic neutral.
Michael. God damn it.